It's interesting because I think you have to ask the question, like, how much would the characters have actually accomplished through their own efforts?
Right.
And how much did Tsukasa aid in that regard?
I mean, let's see, Emma's, so I mean, she didn't want to hold, again, I don't have too much background of what happened in her, like the Phoenix Wonderland thing, but I mean, she's looking for a person who can potentially help her. If she found someone that was, well, as capable and insane and good-hearted as Tsukasa, maybe, that's hard to say. I feel like, I don't know, in the scope of the story, it doesn't seem like there's too many people like Tsukasa. You're talking just a town or something.
I mean, yeah, they're like Tsukasa and Rui are called like Weirdo 1 2, but like, I mean, obviously, I don't think Rui. You can't really compare Tsukasa and Rui in that regard.
Right. And if not for Emma finding Tsukasa, then Tsukasa being weird, and then Rui taking interest in him, and then dragging him along, they wouldn't have formed the entire thing in the first place. You know, they were completely left alone. Tsukasa never went to the audition or even passed the audition. Team would never form.
Well, then Wonder Stage would be gone.
Well, that's one thing for sure. And Emma probably wouldn't be able to reason against her brother, and wouldn't have the whole shenanigans of like, oh no, we can make a good enough show to completely bring back all the customers indefinitely.
Right.
So don't demolish, don't make a brand deal. Don't sell authentic Phoenix one. Don't sell authentic Phoenix down the way.
Shosuke's like, psst, psst, psst.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, Shosuke would have bowled on everything.
No, he wouldn't be the one in the crane.
Exactly. Exactly.
With the wrecking ball.
Yeah.
And he'd be like laughing at him. Like, point and laugh. And like Keisuke would be like sitting next to him. He's like, Keisuke, point and laugh. Point and laugh.
Meanwhile, I was like,
yeah.
That cry animation.
Right.
Tears of salt. Oh my god. Yeah, that'll be gone. Who knows? Maybe she might head down the whole depressed, oh god, another creation of another mafia or something.
Alright.
Oh god. I don't know if I can imagine that though. Is she?
I mean, I feel like she already kind of hides her feelings to spare other people. She doesn't really, like, not to the extent Mafiu does necessarily. Mafiu, who's been doing it for, like, years and years.
Right, and Emma from her childhood already has that kind of, like, coddled, no, you definitely can do this kind of, like, stubborn will instilled in her.
Right, exactly.
So, I feel like she could maintain that for a bit. But, I mean, if Shosuke doesn't go around that, I'm gonna bulldoze everything pouring this to the ground. This goddamn park. There's no money-making machine that's draining out fun. I'm gonna build a McDonald's here. Join the capitalist conglomerate. We're gonna make a mega conglomerate. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm just like, if that were the case, would she turn to the dark though? Join the capitalist society? I don't know if she would do that though.
Like,
she'd be stubborn and join Rui on the path of solo shows on this.
But shows are not. She's not. I don't think she's passionate about shows in the same way that the other three are.
Right. Her thing seems more attached to the park itself, and if that's gone, well, the source of a lot of her motivation seems to be gone. Even the motivation of making everyone smile, because that's also directly tied to like Phoenix Wonderland.
But like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me being like not empathetic. But like, wouldn't this kind of just force Emu to like adapt?
She either will adapt or she will somehow puppy hire her way for it to get a major like $1 million loan to create her own little Phoenix Wonderland, like revive her dream. And somehow Tsukasa do it again.
Right.
But man, can probably never escape this.
I mean, unless Tsukasa just doesn't exist in this timeline.
God. Oh, that went dark quickly. Good God. Interesting. I don't know, though. Theoretically, if you did join the audition in the past, what kind of role would be sent down, though?
He might have been sent to the Phoenix stage. Or like...
Oh, is there a main stage?
Yeah, like, I think Wonderlands Showtime, like, they said they had a bunch of little stages, and then the Phoenix stage was, like, the big stage. So, like, if you didn't get sent to the Phoenix stage, he might have gotten sent to one of the other stages.
personally. Yeah, I mean, for those stages, I'm gonna assume they probably have way more connection because everything's more like well maintained.
Yeah, I mean,
Collaborations.
I think they said like, well, the Wonder stage is like basically in the woods, like.
Yeah, I was literally in the middle of nowhere, just grass growing on the side of the metal beams and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly the place. Other troops would really well like come over, check things out. In that case, my man would have gotten a scholarship really early. And probably met some mentor figure there.
Wow.
Probably
Imagine.
Probably met better friends.
Oh, but he wouldn't have realized his true feelings without everyone else there.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Ah!
Well, I mean, that might not even be true though, because I think, yeah, weren't we saying before, like, that Miku was saying, oh, I think, like, he'll meet someone, but that someone didn't have to be Emu.
Exactly.
And, even then, Tsukasa's virtual singers were pretty hands-off with him. They let him figure it out, mostly. So I feel like just, maybe this is just me, I feel like Tsukasa would have figured it out, with or without them, at some point.
Right, I'm trying to, like, think back to all the events in which, like, the only one I can remember right now is, like, helping the plush. But that was because of the like, conflict and everything. Was the other one. That was one instance when in the beginning, we also helped him realize something. I cannot for the life of me remember. What was it that made him realize what he wanted to make others smile? Was it just the button? And then after the fight?
Yeah.
And then we just tell his face, no. Oh my goodness, you
cannot be a star.
You filthy, you don't want to do shows for fun. You don't just want to make shows because friendship. Imagine.
You don't want to make shows for a My Little Pony reason. You want to make shows for yourself. For capitalism.
Oh, you want clout. Oh, filthy influencer.
You filthy influence.
Exactly. I'm like, huh. But also, if it was just someone who had to tell him because of some, like, maybe not a fight reason.
Maybe it's just like a failure.
Yeah. Something.
Or just like he hit some sort of roadblock.
I'm trying to, like, think about it. This was a Saki plush that was crying because he went completely against the morals of, like, or his want to make others smile because, I mean, like, he literally made someone cry and did something he really regretted. Or something like that.
Right.
I also feel like if he joined, like, if I finished, like, complete audition, went to this, like, better stage, if that feeling of incompetence, that's, like, later on the story, when he meets, like, better and more skilled actors, he probably would have met them right at the start.
Right.
And with the underdeveloped Tsukasa then, he probably would have flew into, maybe not, like, an outward rage, maybe more like an internal rage.
Yeah, kind of like that despair Anna felt almost when she realized she wasn't that good.
Right.
But like she never actually like. Well, she had a ton of freakouts, but like there was just more of that like quiet like breaking moment for her.
Right. And that would also depend on what kind of new people he would meet if he were theoretically to be on that main stage.
I mean, he could have just been shown up by someone like Seirin.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking of, depending on what kind of, like, cast he's surrounded by, if it's a more mellowed down, more supportive cast, you will feel that internal kind of, like, ugh. They're also supportive of me, yeah, I can live up to their expectations. They're all, like, outshining me in some way, and I just can't catch up. That kind of, like, internal, like, breaking down. Or, theoretically, if it was some, like, more aggressively, like, why aren't you doing this properly, Tenma, or something like that.
Right. And like, either way, it could make Tsukasa reach that point of, like, everyone else has something I'm missing. Right. I need to figure out what that is. He goes to the Sekai, and then, you know, you can have that whole sequence with the plushie, or whatever.
Well, in this case, then I'm gonna assume none of the troop members are as nosy as Emu and fidget out with his phone and dragging themselves into the Sekai where they don't belong. So he theoretically have a chance to sing the song by himself.
Yes.
And have that whole, like, self-realization arc by himself as it should have been.
Tsukasa solo. The world hasn't even started yet. Tsukasa solo. Oh wait, but aren't you forgetting that the only reason that the plushie was able to stop crying was not because of Tsukasa's dance, was because that because Tsukasa said Wonderhoy, and he learned that from Emu. So you see, he needs Wonderland Showtime.
Oh, good God.
Like, give me a break, man. Give me a break.
I can't believe it. No, there's always a fragment of Emu or Rui somewhere in there.
Right. They infested the Sekai. Get your grubby paws off of the Sekai.
Oh, you pests, get out of it. God, it really does kind of feel like it. It feels like an intrusion.
Literally.
That's why Rui's like digging around and poking around feels so uncomfortable to me. I have issues like people poking around my phone when I don't deliberately give them the consent to. I'm like, this feels like I'm like, Emma, do not touch my phone and poke around on it without my permission. Rui, stop. This is basically the manifestation of like Tsukasa's innermost like feelings and everything. You're like prodding around his brain and heart and soul.
Trying to dissect like these plushies.
Trying to dissect his like the core.
Right, exactly.
Soul and everything. It was like, bro, this feels creepy.
Well, I mean, it's like symbolic of how Rui basically treats Tsukasa, so like I can't even say it's too far off.
What,
but
he's allowed to like poke around in his inner deepest like most personal thoughts, and he can't poke around in his.
Right.
What is this lack of reciprocal like poking around?
Exactly.
That's Tsukasa. You don't have a Sekai, goddamn. Oh, of course you don't. But
I don't understand like Project Sekai's insistence or like the Virtual Secret's insistence like no, this is everyone's Sekai. I'm like, no, it's not everyone's Sekai. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm. Look, compared to Mafus, who like that's their group of friends. They already have this like kind of closeness because they kind of already bared like all their selves to each other. And then it doesn't feel inappropriate later on when they like re-enter into her Sekai and find her there. And it's like, this just feels natural.
Yeah.
Because they've already kind of explored their innermost thoughts with each other without the use of the Sekai. Tsukasa? I'm sorry, the man doesn't talk about his feelings.
Well, these guys are all strangers.
That too. In Mafia to some extent, but they also kind of knew each other, so I guess I can kind of forgive that lenience a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then later on feels more natural, but this never feels natural.
Well, yeah, and they were literally trying to like save Mafiu. I mean, well, you could argue that some of them for like selfish reasons, but like either way, they were like trying to save her. Like Mafiu was like about to lock herself up forever, and they stopped her. What did they do for? What did Wonderland Showtime ever do for Tsukasa?
I don't know, man. For the limited amount I've saved, not too much. Not more than Tsukasa did for them. This is a very unequal give and take relationship.
Yeah, but then like the game tries to tell you like, no, Wonderland Showtime is such a good influence on Tsukasa. Like they can teach so much to Tsukasa, but I'm like, he already knew all of that. He just forgot about it.
Exactly, and the virtual singers are there to guide him back on track, and that's not exactly work that's helped by you guys. Never carried the load. My guy just like he just reached a breaking point with you guys where he's like, I gotta take a break. I'm gonna head out and just think on my own, and that's exactly when he figures out everything. It's when the tension with them grows too much.
Exactly.
And then he goes back to the same guys like, okay, I need to cool off.
And like he separates himself from them.
Exactly. And I hate that every time he separates from them, from that moment of, dang, I guess I messed up, like yelling at it, but then he separates them, and then reflects, and then grows as a person. I'm like, that's the one instance where I can almost give proof that this separation, this disbandment, would probably be good for him.
I mean, I'd argue that most of his growth happens away from Wonderland Showtime.
That's what I've been seeing. So I'm just like, this feels like a natural progression. I don't know why you guys are afraid of this.
I don't even understand why it's a whole arc. Oh no, we're gonna disband in the future.
Good, do it.
Good.
I dare you. Do it.
Do it. You won't.
You won't. Triple dog dare you. It's like, it's working on so many ways. It's like not, well, you guys lose a lot of discuss. It's not there, but like, he doesn't lose a lot. He doesn't lose like the whatever friendship benefits you guys give him because he receives little to none.
Right, he already like barely received anything, so
he has bodies around him that make him look not alone. I don't think you guys are contributing much mentally and emotionally. Yeah,
in fact, I would argue that sometimes they act more as burdens than anything.
Yeah, you guys are kind of dead weight. Tsukasa's gotta help resolve, oh god, Tsukasa not being the man that picks a girl they need in their lives.
Please! Oh my gosh!
No, you don't deserve that.
Is Is that why I get so uncomfortable with their dynamic? Like,
Ugh, I never liked that dynamic.
oh, it's actually so funny because I think a straight up quote from Rui is that Tsukasa is like a storm. He comes into your life and then just like really quickly just like leaves. But like that is like the definition of manic pixie dream girl right there.
You go into this normal bleak man's life. God, this is like reading like isekai protagonist.
Oh my
God. Boring. Oh, not even nerds. You're not even good enough to be nerds. You're just like middle of the middle.
You're just like a neat.
Yeah.
You're just nene.
Right.
Listen.
Oh my God, Nene is Tsukasa freaking manic.
Ooh, I'm ruining every Nenekasa shipper's dream.
God, this is reality. I'm sorry. Then it's just gamer hunched over, like black eye bag, that kind of like sloppily drawn meme.
Right, like the tracksuit too.
Yeah.
Like,
gosh. My goodness, you call Kaneda a need? I'm sorry, Nene's more of a. She's on the road to need them more than her.
at least Kanade is going outside
Jeez.
and not comparing things to RPG graphics.
I thought I made that up at some point, but she actually said that?
Yeah, it's so embarrassing. I was so embarrassed listening to that.
I actually, bro, at some point I really just rationalized it as me making a joke at some point where I was just extrapolating, she probably like gaming there, she probably like, goes outside, touches grass, like this is so realistic, look at these art, like RGT, like shading graphics or something. No, she actually said, God, I can't believe it. Nene is so sad.
She's so embarrassing.
She's so embarrassing.
That's why I'm saying it's so easy to take jabs at her, so I don't understand why Tsukasa won't do it.
Exactly. But like the one thing is, I need someone to point out how freaking sad, because I can't bear this embarrassing burden in line. I need someone in the game to point out how weird Rui's. I will do my thing and pretend I'm not doing it in front of you. But I'm gonna do it so I can attract your attention. Hopefully, you'll catch your interest enough that you'll talk to me.
Oh my god.
Am I interesting enough yet? Glances.
Ooh.
Like,
saying it like that, oh, that's so embarrassing.
Because I hate it. That I just recognized after so long, after just scrolling through it and then just realizing, is this what he's doing? Oh god, I think he's actually doing that. And I'm just like, I cannot look at him the same way. I can't even look at him in the eye anymore.
Rui Nene is so embarrassing.
I can't look at him in the eye without just thinking of them. Just like, you guys are so. No wonder you guys are childhood friends.
They're both pathetic.
Birds of a feather, I'm telling you. Oh god.
Yeah, like the fact that people still think like Rui's so mysterious, suave, cool. I'm like, no.
You guys are falling for his trap. My guy's the sad. He is the saddest. That's the saddest method of communication I've ever. Barely communication. Gosh. And I'm just like, what is he expecting? Someone just goes in there, wow, what you're doing is pretty cool, bro. You're doing some mechanics? He's like, what do you know about mechanics?
Right, and then he's just like, oh, I mean, yes, we will both do our best, endeavor to do our best in the future. Goodbye.
Of course, the person comes up to him because he wants him to talk to him. Yeah, he's the one who says goodbye first, but I need further explanation.
Literally, it's so pathetic to watch.
It's like Nana trying to, like, talk to someone, and then the person actually confronts her, she just backs away and cries silently.
Literally!
Or like Rui just like says bye before they even get a chance to know him because he's not afraid of, I don't know, freaking commitment or something.
Coward.
Exactly, both cowards. What are the kids? Oh.
Literally, oh my gosh.
My goodness, cowards flock together. That's so. This is so sad. Emma, you're like you're a special kind of sad.
You're right.
I don't even know what it is. She's like she's so above in the clouds. I don't even know what she's doing.
It feels like she's just like stuck in the mud, but she's like happy playing in the mud. Like
she's like anime girl.
Yeah.
Anime girl TM.
Yeah.
She doesn't feel real for some reason.
Yeah.
She feels like the character who like floats up in the air when she smells pie. That kind of vibe. That's not something a human would do. She
is like that shoujo manga perfect protagonist.
Well, gosh, I'm really even sick of shoujo protagonists are getting kind of better these days.
Well, yeah, actually.
And actually, even back in the day, honestly, Toru, let's go.
Toru, right? No, but like Toru is like Emu done better. I'm sorry, like, they try to make Emu the girl who just, like, smiles and, like, can't ask for help, but Toru did it so much better.
Oh, for real, though. I don't know, what is this?
Toru had, like, no one. Well, I mean, she did, but, like, I don't know. Vibes are different.
What is it? I mean, she has like a. I mean, for me, the only reason why Emily read as cute to me, normally I hate these kind of like. that kind of like overhyped.
Why did that just remind me of like like Neko Sugar Girls, whatever? Bro, is Emu literally her?
Dude, no. Was his name Satoshi or something?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not even trying to joke here. That's like my impression.
That is what happened.
Every single time I try to do any remotely high-pitched cute voice, I just go. Just like, but that's all.
Right.
Yeah.
You should voice Emu in a Project Sekai Abridged or something. No, the joke is that no one can understand what she's saying. Like I know in canon, like she always has like these mannerisms that no one can understand. But this time the joke is that like genuinely no one can understand what she's saying.
No, that would actually improve her character. I would actually love that. Just crank the knob. If you're already gonna make her like jump from 2 stories high up, I'm sorry, turn the knob up higher. I want to turn to 1,000. I want it to be
right.
I want it to be a babbling machine.
She can only be understood with subtitles.
Stop. Just building together. Oh my goodness.
She speaks in a different font from the other characters too.
Oh god. Dang. Oh, will we still be able to understand her after all of that?
Right. Who knows?
Even Maria's baffled by the what?
Right.
What?
No wonder Shosuke's so annoyed. Every time he tries to do his job, he just sees this like little chipmunk like.
The only audible thing I hear from her is just one door. Right. That's the only thing she can communicate, because that's the only thing everyone understands.
Right.
Oh, that would make that so much. Oh, good God.
That'd be so much funnier if you just didn't take her character seriously at all.
Exactly. Oh, but Tori has such like a human expression. I don't know. It's like weird. It's more like aloofness than hyperactive cute.
Cause like Toro like genuinely cares for the people around her. Yeah. Feels like Emu just like purposely like ignores sometimes, or like.
I'm not saying like death isn't necessary for a character to like develop empathy and like treasure things more, but I mean it helps.
But like her grandfather did die.
Well, didn't die hard enough. Apparently it doesn't work enough.
Do it again.
Get hit by a truck.
Oh my gosh, kill her dad now or something. I don't know. What's he doing? Kill her mom, her sister, something.
Exactly. No, kill everyone but her brothers. I want them to stay.
Right.
To be menaces.
Right.
But they're not even menaces.
They're not even menaces!
Exactly.
They're right! Exactly. That's what they are!
If anything, if their entire family perished, like, they would do everything in their power to keep everything around the same as if, like, maybe they'll, like, lower themselves in terms of, like, living standards, but otherwise they're trying to make the best of it for everyone. Yeah. She might wouldn't even feel the effects of it.
Exactly.
The brothers would take care of everything.
Exactly.
And do the best to not alleviate any, like, financial burden she might feel.
I think that's my problem with Emu's arc, too. It's because a lot of the times it just feels like she's being coddled by her brothers, and then when her brothers stop coddling her, she goes right to Wonderland Showtime, where she's coddled again.
I think that's it. And it definitely digs into hard issue. Just there's so many different facets, because again, they're trying to bring realistic, real life problems into this idealistic, very anime-esque world of friendships, smiles, furniture, and everything. I'm just like, I'm sorry, if you want to bring realistic things, make them also have realistic reactions to it, or like realistic consequences. Otherwise, you don't discuss partnerships and brand deals and talk about contracts when this girl's like, no, but my grandpa's
No, but like they straight up acknowledge that like the business deals that the brother made like were sound. Like their reasoning was solid.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm like, they probably went through so many like different experts, just like outweighing all the like costs, the losses, and what potentially what could be gained, and probably projecting it out into the far future. And what basis?
No, like even the game acknowledged that they were right, but then like
the characters even acknowledged that, and then Emu somehow flipped the switch. I mean, wasn't Rui even talking about that?
It wasn't even Emu though. Emu didn't come up with like anything. It was mostly Rui.
Wasn't there like a case where I swore it was either Rui or Tsukasa even agreed that this plan that they discussed, I think it was Rui.
It was Rui who, like, Rui was like, yeah, I mean, their logic was pretty solid. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, but somehow I think it was Emu who said something, and then Rui was like, but actually, we should.
Yep, I think
preserve the smile.
I think that's what happened. I don't know if Emu interjected. But like, I think the thing is, even if Rui acknowledged that their thing was sound, he was still gonna be like, oh, but like I can come up with the plan. We just need to make sure our show is better than ever.
I see.
But like, and like that, it just makes no sense.
So like, I'm sorry, Rui. When have you ever made money? When have you ever drawn in crowds of people? You never did by yourself.
Then he's just using his parents' money for like parts and stuff. I mean, they straight up let him, like, take over the garage, so, like...
My God, has so much equipment. I'm sorry, you are so privileged, Rui. You come from an elite high school, too.
Right, exactly.
You've gone by grades, so you still have so much financial backing behind you.
No, like, the fandom tries to pretend it's only, like, Emu and Tsukasa who are rich. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure everyone here is fairly well off. Like, everyone in Project Sekai is fairly well off.
Exactly. I'm sorry, maybe I just feel bitter to those people who already had equipment from the get-go. Because back in 2014, this is going back a while, that was the first start in art and everything, I didn't even get to draw digitally. I just went straight for printer paper. I tried to do watercolor on printer paper. That was how desperate I was. But I'm like, maybe this is the bitterness of poverty. But I'm just saying, Rui, if I had the finances you had, if I could have had a walk-in Cintiq off the right off the bat.
The things you could do.
Exactly. I'm sorry, there's only so much that talent can carry you without the proper equipment and everything, and the support and resources. You can only go so far.
And like, honestly, I hate to bring in like privilege at all, because like, I don't know, I just don't really like doing it. But like, here it's like so impossible not to mention.
Right. I mean, it's literally the core of the issue. You guys just, because of privilege, you've been so removed from the possible limitations you could have had, and thus you never truly do appreciate, even if you're like mentally. This is a case where you're like, if you are cognizant of the privilege you have, it's so hard to rationalize and actually like feel the effects unless you like dip into poverty and then come back, and then you can actually physically feel the difference and then actually truly appreciate it. That's like if you're trying to teach a blind person about colors, you can't ever physically like have them experience truly what colors are. You can only like describe them in as much detail. That's kind of like the same thing as privilege. You can only describe exactly. Which is why it kind of gets into the issue of like you view these like pity documentaries and everything. It's like, oh no, it's so sad, and then you go right back to your lives where you don't have to look at it again. That's the kind of privilege thing. You can always choose to look at it and just feel it for a little bit, but you always have the choice and the safety net of going back.
Right.
I'm just like, that's why it irks me so much.
Right, and it's like, it's not. Like, it's not the problem is not that they're rich, it's just that the whole situation just reads as completely tone deaf.
Right. It's like, say, gosh. Really, somehow your shows didn't work out. It's not like you're on the streets.
Exactly.
Somehow, like, penny pinching or any, like...
This is just like a hobby for him at this point, like...
Yeah, you don't have to do it. I'm sorry.
Right. Instead, and like, all he does is like let his grades fall to the wayside and like. But it's not even that he lets his grades fall to the like wayside out of like, he's bad at it. He just like doesn't want to.
Right.
Like, and like he could be at the top of his class.
Exactly. Oh, that's why people piss me off.
Literally makes me so mad.
Oh my goodness gracious! This is an issue of I don't ever like to bring up like wasted potential because I've had that right to me. I'm just like stop, shh. I did the best I could. But also, Rui, you are literally the definition of wasted potential.
Literally.
You have wasted. You have squandered so much. You could have gone so far, and yet what did you give it up for? Friendship. Did you give up for your friends?
Right.
Your friends?
Oh my gosh.
And yet, what?
You mean when you're all gonna disband later?
Exactly.
Anyway?
Also, what if you're really gonna stay here with a friendship? Try harder.
Exactly. You're not even trying to be friends.
Bro, you're like wasting your potential everywhere. Not even shy. Fine, neglect your grades, whatever. I don't give a be a bum. Just be home. The things you have. Why aren't you treasuring them more?
Exactly.
This is gonna go by. I'm sorry, the years go by fast. In a few years, they're gonna be gone. If you're just gonna keep, like, just letting them fall into, like, these opportunities fall into your lap, somehow these people walk into your lives, you're not gonna hold on and just let them walk out? We're gonna start running out of luck. Again, your Project Sekai's favor, probably. They're gonna keep letting things fall into your lap. But if this was real life, dude, once you lose all of those chances, I doubt there's gonna be any coming more to your side. I mean, this is, like, such a rare chance as, like, this specific person that could potentially be your bettering half, and the potential that you guys could better each other, and yet it's just not there. It's just, if the timing was just ever so slightly more better, or you just were better. If you only were better. God damn it, Rui, why aren't you better?
Dang, it all comes back to if only Rui was a better character.
Exactly! He's missing it's not even that much, just like the things there, just something fundamentally in this character, just a little shit.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I guess we proved that with Lewis, like...
It's actually crazy how much I adore Lewis. I'm like, this is a Rui derivative, I didn't even change that much just his age. And there's general, like...
Right, we still follow, like, his basic storyline, like...
Yeah, so I'm like, dang, Rui, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
What switch didn't get flipped that you are just like, ugh. It just still give me the creepy heebie-jeebies. What the heck?
Maybe it's just the simple thing of, like, Lewis is way more open with his concern than Rui ever is.
Yes. And I'm sure that comes with age. I'm just like, again, this is one of the cases where you're like, dang, it'll be way better, huh?
Right.
Because they've gone through all the losses. They've probably gone through so many of them that they, at some point, they just realize it ain't worth it to just let them go. And at this point, there's nothing for me to lose anymore.
And, like, you can lose that like, feeling of shame when you say, like, oh, no, I genuinely care about you. Like, you don't have to feel that sense of shame.
Hey. There's, like, some weird invisible force that's stopping Rui from doing this.
Right, instead you just have to, they just make him, like, look fondly at them from, like, a distance. And I'm supposed to believe, like, oh yeah, he really cares for them.
Exactly. I'm like, I could extrapolate from that you care about them, but I gotta work so hard in my imagination to actually, like...
It's like, there are probably, like, a handful of instances that, like, I'm supposed to just, like, extrapolate and assume that he cares about Wonderlands Showtime. Meanwhile, there's, like, about, like, 30 plus incidents of where he's doing the absolute worst things to them, Tsukasa.
Uh-huh. And that's probably why the reason I could, like, pendulum him back between, I think I like this character, I can tolerate him, and then swing back to nope, that was wrong, that's absolutely wrong. He's kind of terrible and embarrassing and pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What did I ever see in him? But then they give me moments where it's like, there could be possible growth, I'm like... And then they swing right back to nope, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I ever had an ounce of trust in you. Yeah. Oh no, Lewis supremacy. And I'm gonna be so sad. My god, this is the thing, I feel like there's potential, maybe not a Lewis type character, who knows, maybe the projects like friggin' people finally wake up and see that there's potential for a character like that there. But, I mean, they reveal, Amami's, like, name. And I don't know how NPCs exactly work. I don't know, like, if you reveal a name, and since that character is so integral to Tsukasa, like, whole formation, I wonder at some point they're gonna release, like, an NPC of him and have him involved in the story of some sort.
They might. I mean, I could see it going either way, like, Amami becomes a source of encouragement, or just, like, completely, like, punches down. Like, oh, you'll never make it that far.
Yeah, I'm curious, and again, this is like me projecting my wish fulfillment onto him as a character, but I'm just like, I wish some of you also just take the role of Lewis in the game, because Lewis is probably not going to exist.
Right. No, Amami just, like, offers him, like, a scholarship or something, be like, hey, you want to leave? Scott's like, okay.
God, they didn't make the same thing, they do the same thing with him as Rui, where he's just like, no. If we get Fat Dog sad,
no!
I'm gonna be so freaking angry.
No, I'll actually be so sad.
That would probably incite a rage. I'm gonna start churning out Lewis fan art of him slapping some sense.
Well, like, Tsukasa's, like, more aware of his emotions than Rui is.
Yeah, that's the thing, because me, rationally thinking, I feel like he wouldn't do that as a character. But how many times have I thought of him as a character he wouldn't do this? And yet somehow there seems some imaginary force, some hand just hovering over the character, but like, no, actually, go this way.
I mean, I can see that they make Tsukasa, like, feel sad about this offer.
John, this is the one time I will tell you deny your feelings. Suppress your damn feelings.
Right.
And just trudge on forward, because I promise you, once you get past this initial feeling, you're gonna be so much better off.
Right. Like, it really feels like Tsukasa, like, is on a whole different level of maturity from the other Wonderland Showtime members. Like, I feel like he is ready to move on.
There's just something stopping it.
I feel like he's been ready to move on from, like, day one. Like, he learned his true feelings, and then boom.
Right.
He's good.
What else do you guys have left to give him? Growth?
He's barely had an arc since then.
Shoot. Everyone else been having their arcs because Tsukasa is there to help them or something.
Right. I don't even know what, like, the Tone Demo Wonders thing was. Cause, like, for me, it wasn't even, like, Tsukasa development. It's like, these are traits he's always had.
Wait, remind me, what's the Tone Demo Wonders thing again?
Oh, no, it's just, like, the major show that they put on to save the park. Prevent the brand deal.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, like, yeah, for me, it wasn't really development because, like, yeah, he's always had these qualities. Like, it's not like he's grown these traits in his time with Wonderland Showtime. He's always had them.
Which is, again, why I cannot turn the blind eye to this. All the other teams are formed because they help each other in this mutual symbiotic way. And I'm just like, what the hell's going on here?
Tsukasa doesn't need help from you people.
Every single time we circle back to Tsukasa's solo show.
Literally.
I was joking at first with the first. I think I first mentioned that when we were like separating harmonies or something. I was like, dang, how the hell does it sound better?
Right.
Like, on his own, I can't believe this is actually a fact. Even from his vocals down to his performance of his character.
Dude, Project Sekai will, like, scream until the cows come home. Like, Nene's such a good singer near professional level. I'm like, I don't know, man. She's got a good rival in Tsukasa.
No offense to the voice actor. She's fantastic doing her job. I'm sorry. He is literally music theater actor.
Literally.
He has that background. He has that acting. My man can sing and dance. Sing, dance, act. All at the same. I'm like.
Can Nene do that? She can't even move.
You barely do 2 twirls.
Right.
I forgot what the twirls were.
And the fact that Tsukasa's all self-taught, by the way, like, Nene straight up went to, like, this acting school and whatever, like...
I just got reminded of it, like, oh my goodness, yeah, she was literally in an acting troupe, or, like, a dance troupe, or some kind of troupe, which was... this, like, acting troupe in middle school. Acting company, I think. Bro, a comp... I know they scalped them and everything, it was like, dang. Dang it!
Dang, Nene.
You also wasted your opportunity. Just like Rui, just like your childhood bestie.
Right, one failure and she was out. No, she wasn't even out. She was, like, straddling that line, like, oh, I want to do it, but I don't want to do it. I want to do it, I don't want to do it, like... And then Rui didn't help at all. It was just, like, an enabler.
Gosh, the only time he decided to finally reach out to him and be like, do you want to do theater again, was because Tsukasa had stepped in with a weirdo. He was like,
Right.
And it was like, hey, Nene, I found this weirdo. Do you want to mayhaps join with this robot? It was... I don't know why I always thought she had the robot for a long time. No, that was her on the day of, huh?
I don't know, Nene, like, why don't you just get into voice acting or something, then?
That is true. She was super... She should just be a streamer.
Right, literally!
Just be a VTuber, then. You
literally!
Make more money off of it, and you could also sing. I'm sorry, there's...
Just post covers online or something.
Oh
Become Night Court. I don't know.
No, she's a solo, but she also does collabs with... That would be so nice.
I mean, April Fool, she was literally in Night Court, so...
Foundation's right there. I'm just like... At some point, I just feel like these April Fool events feels like they're teasing ideas they wish they implemented. Because some of these are infinitely better than what the hell they're doing.
Literally. Like, I don't know, like... So, like, for me, like, whenever I think of, like, alternate routes for Nene, the one consistent thing I see is just, like, her, like, building her online career.
Yeah, because the internet is what she seems drawn to. It's not like it's not a bad thing. It doesn't, of course, in society, it doesn't carry the same prestige as like a professional Broadway theater thing. I'm just like,
oh, you could become the next Otto or something.
Yeah, and Otto also moved on to stages after she was like fully comfortable. She started out with stages masking her face in the darkness, and eventually she fell spot. I'm like, that could be a nice character arc.
Right, and like, I don't know if Nene's voice is supposedly that good, right?
Uh-huh. And also, Rui, since you were so adamant about technology bridging the gap between the poor and the rich in Broadway, who the hell? This is where you could step in, organize online content, be the freaking be the moderator for online streams.
I mean, I could see Rui being Nene's manager or something.
Yeah. That would be much more suited. I mean, you probably want to go and be the mysterious puppet man in the streets doing shows and everything.
Oh my gosh.
You're to be a mod.
Discord mod.
Exactly. I don't know, man. With your knowledge of technology and everything, I feel eventually you could do that online, and then if, like, I don't know, design, because like dude already knows coding. Maybe it's not robotics, it's hands-on engineering. But I mean, dude knows code, so you gotta know code freaking bots online to have special effects.
Right.
And it makes Nene like, I don't know, freaking avatar and online things.
Yeah, like rig the model and everything.
Right, because she's like, oh, what is this person with such a like advanced technology? I've never seen this before. And then everyone garners attention from it. And then Rui moves on to, hey, Nene, do you want to do a live stage?
Right.
And then he also orchestrates the effects. Maybe it'll be a little bit cuckoo, but I feel like with Nene he wouldn't do because he, for some reason, has that protective nature.
Right.
So of course, they'll tone it down for her.
Oh yeah, anything for poor baby Nene.
Uh-huh. We'll just do some light shots like 50 feet away from you, not like just 1 inch away from your face, like we do with Tsukasa.
Right.
We'll stick you in the canyon.
He'd never hang Nene upside down.
And waterboard her in the pool.
Right, she's a small, fragile girl.
No, her head will burst from the blood rushing to her head.
Yeah, like, that logic has, like, never made sense to me, like...
My god. Oh, dang, it's not the case. Again, all of these scenarios just completely isolate everyone else in the true from Tsukasa. Notice how we haven't mentioned Emu at all in this.
Well, I mean, I guess the only thing with that, with going in, like, that direction for Nene is, like, I think she also wants to act.
Right,
But, like, I don't know. I guess you can't win them all. Or just, like, voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Also, online film series, what do you call it? I guess they call it web series. It's just like TV shows, but it's only distributed online, not actually broadcast on TV. I'm like, sorry, the internet is so broad, internet culture is so broad nowadays, and I've only barely glimpsed the ones on Japan, but I'm just like, y'all got some crazy stuff going on, like crazy high production stuff going on. So I don't see why you can't just do it all online.
Yeah.
And then eventually wean yourself to like live stages.
Oh yeah, right. Like, yeah.
So many cases of like online cover artists. The only one I could think of like Mafu, Kenshin Yonezu, which is like a local producer, and then he went to real music and actually performed on stages.
I think Mafu and Soru and they're like a band or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, interesting.
Was it called like After the Rain or something?
Oh, I thought that was just a podcast you did. Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, they've all had opportunities from their popularity online to finally move on to real stages. It's not like you're trapped forever in that kind of online space.
Exactly. Or like if you really want to do that, like you could just do like small indie projects first. Or like find people looking for actors online, like.
Right. That baffles me. There's no like local theater troupes. Like, there's so many. At least in my town, I've seen like signs posted on the lawns or something for local theater.
I mean, like,
theater.
I mean, the problem is not availability. I guess it's that she's too afraid to join again.
Huh.
Which is why I was saying if she was that afraid of showing herself, then you could just start off by like VTubing, voice acting.
Right. I guess the only problem would be like trying not to encourage dependence on the technology too much to the point where it's like I can't possibly do this offline. I wouldn't be better than I was online.
Well, I mean that's the problem. And like I feel like without Tsukasa there, like I feel like she would be fully dependent. And it's not like Rui's gonna talk her out of it.
That is true. I mean, I did say at some point maybe Rui would try to convince her to join Live Stage, but would he really?
Would he?
He would be happy just doing this completely online.
I'm happy if Nene's happy.
Oh my god, these two.
Nah, and then if someone like Tsukasa was like, hey, why don't you actually, like, drop the robot act or something and do a live stage?
Did you just try to trigger her? Oh my god, don't you know she has social anxiety? Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, one exclamation mark.
Man, my mom would slap me. I'm just saying, if I was acting this ambivalent about something I was clearly talented at and, like, good at and wanted to do, she'd slap me.
I'm like, that's reasonable. But again, you have that kind of people in your life that they just don't accept Tsukasa, but no, they always passion them for his opinions. So.
Yeah, true. Project Sekai Cast would hate my family. They see my dad, like, kicking me out of the car, like, I tell my dad, oh man, I'm too nervous to go to this thing. My dad, okay, well, lol, bye. Kicks out of car. Like, I don't know.
No, if you were a character in the game, the entire fandom would scream abuse at you.
Literally.
Your dad.
Literally.
My guy is worse than Shosuke.
No.
Oh.
Worse than Shosuke.
He's worse than Mafio's mom.
No.
Oh my god. You guys are...
Bro, my dad would just be like, L.
No, but then again, like, Joel's getting the silent majority. It's like, yeah, he's such a...
Right.
He's such a G.
Literally, like, I feel like people forget, like, Twitter is like the Twitter, Tumblr, like, vocal minority.
Yeah.
I think most people agree with Shosuke.
Mm-hmm. Every time I go on Twitter, I'm like, this is the funniest thing. You guys are talking about one thing and someone just barges in like, but you don't care about this!
Right!
And I really thought they were joking. I really want to believe they were joking. And then I'm just scrolling on my timeline, but I'm not even on that side. I'm just like looking at art. And then I just open the thread and it's just... Excuse me? What? Hold on, did I skip something? No? Someone just out of nowhere is like, but
we weren't even talking about this. What do you mean?
Exactly.
No, not a single person brought that up.
Oh my god. Oh, do you condone whitewashing this character?
What?
Oh,
Who brought that up?
I don't even know.
How did this get into the conversation?
Exactly. I'm just like, bro, this artist is not even. I don't even know. Anyway, this is Twitter. You guys are funny.
Twitter is so funny. Do without Tsukasa then.
Oh, right, that's the well, same situation start. I assume they all hit down the path of eventual self-destruction.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah.
But just means sadder than they were before, because they all seem to be heading down the downward slope.
Yeah, neither of them seem very keen to pull themselves out of their slump.
Which is why they need. That's the thing, like.
They need a manic pixie dream?
Oh god. But Tsukasa is the one who needs a manic pixie dream. Literally. But for some reason, he's like this. He's not even the straight. He's just a normal dude who got pulled into this role for no reason. He didn't want this role.
Right.
But for some reason, he has to tend to these kids.
Right, like, my thing is, if you're relying on Tsukasa for emotional support, like...
Sorry, you're looking in the wrong place. This man has nothing to offer you.
Right.
But a distant 2 pats on the shoulder.
He has no coping mechanisms for you.
Well, my advice to you... Take a sleep and forget about it.
My advice to you, get over it, PNG.
Oh my god, yes.
Typical Tenma sibling coping mechanism. Get over it!
No, but ain't that the truth sometimes? Goodness gracious. I'm not sure why they inserted him into this role. Is it because he's peppy and spunky and all the hell?
But that's just how he is on the outside!
Exactly.
That's what he portrays himself as, because he wants to be seen that way.
Is it his drive then? Because none of them seem to have that, or at least a means to carry out their drive, their seemingly existing drive.
That's so true. I feel like Tsukasa is one of the most driven characters in the game.
Right, because they seem to have some want to move forward, but they don't have like a catalyst to even push them past that like point of actually action. Moving to action. It's kind of like Tsukasa, because he has more drive and the willingness to actually. Well, he's not as idealistic as them. He actually has plans to carry out things,
right,
and carry them into action.
Well, like, who was the one who made the Sekai in the first place? Like,
goodness gracious.
It wasn't them. It wasn't. Despite their desire to make people smile, it wasn't enough to make a Sekai.
Gee, I wonder if your ambitions just weren't big enough like Tsukasa's.
Right.
Shoot. And dudes, again, this is still ever expanding. I don't know how they just dropped that.
Right.
And just never explained. You dropped such a scary fact and just walked it off. I'm like, no, that's normal. No, it just wasn't forever, just infinity, No, don't think about it too hard. It's just a vast infiniteness of this world. You don't know if it's keep repeating, if it's just full.
If you just like kept walking forever, would it just like?
Also, would all the items be unique to us? That's kind of freaky to think about. Because you assume you don't interact with too much in your daily life, so you only remember so much. But the thing is, chances are you interact with tens of thousands, possibly millions of objects that probably at some point you held dear. Maybe not held dear, but like held some amount of importance to you in your life, and then over time you just keep forgetting Tsukasa and you completely forgot about it. That's so strange. You just walk through this like dreamland, and every time you look at something that looks vaguely familiar, and then at some point also like it clicks for him. Is that the poster?
Right.
Of Star? Is that the plush? Is that?
I'd be so freaked out like first entering this. Like I understand why he immediately wants to leave. Like
it's really freaky. It really feels like yank. It's like if you put dreams to reality. Sometimes my dreams are absolutely bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Or just like that uncanniness.
Yeah, I think it's the card that it treasures. The art doesn't show it, but definitely. Conceptually, it treasures in that weird, uncanny valley vibe. And I do wonder if it's a structure like the more you go out, or the more you walk, the deeper you walk in the Sekai, the more hidden the memory. Oh, it actually gets like more twisted and dark.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, the Sekais themselves offer such good horror concepts. I'm so surprised no one's like capitalized on this yet.
Right. I want someone to come with a concept like them because all this seems to be pretty surface level stuff. Is him wanting to be a star. But the more you walk outwards, away from the radius of just that theme park-esque vibe, it just gets more and more like Mafiu's Empty Sekai, where it's just like this littered hospital beds, sheets strewn, and at some point you just come across this like isolated building and everything's like fluorescent.
I've actually seen that concept on a Pixiv fic. Like, whoa. I don't know, like Japanese fans, they do so many interesting things with Tsukasa Sekai.
Oh.
So many interesting facets that they add on.
Great that someone actually thought of that. Finally, someone with some sense of creativity and a brain out there.
Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah. I don't know if you'll be able to find that again, but you do happen to have it. That's such an interesting concept.
I'm just like, and like all the like fics I've read, like, it's just, I just think it's really interesting the different things that you can do with the Sekai, because with the Sekai, you can essentially make it a reflection of the creator's feelings. Like, that is essentially what it is.
Right.
So you can do anything that you want with it, really.
Interesting. This is another translation thing I just remembered. So when I was like, because I do like translating lyrics from English or from Japanese to English for fun, right? And the thing is, a lot of the times I use the word omoi, which is, feelings in Japanese, but the thing is, omoi can also translate to memories to some sense. So I'm like, interesting. It's a manifestation of your feelings, but you're also your memories and your sense of self. And I think that's where they're drawing from. But if you're drawing it that line, then yeah, like you said, a manifestation of their self, but also their feelings. It's a very interesting concept.
It's very interesting. Like, I've seen Tsukasa Sekai get flooded one time, like, with a whole ocean. Or, like, a whole night sky appears, like, filled with stars. Or, like you said, like, the isolated building.
Whoa. Oh, the ocean is so interesting for some reason. I wonder if it's, I don't know, I feel like you probably would have gone, maybe one night we just couldn't take it and just, like, cry for the entire night. Probably woke up the next morning and be like, I didn't get enough sleep. I was practicing all night long.
That fic in particular was interesting. There were a couple fics where they like made the Sekai get flooded like with the ocean or something. But with this instance, I think Tsukasa was dealing with his feelings of being a fraud. Like he didn't feel like an actual star. He didn't feel like he could like measure up. And like they like tied that back to like a memory from childhood where like he nearly drowned. Okay, like, I don't know, I think they went on vacation or something, the whole Tenma family, and, like, he was just, like, doing, like, that childish thing where he was trying to, like, reach up into the sky for a star, but, like, he wandered, like, too far into the ocean and, like, nearly drowned.
It's not such a good metaphor.
Right, like
He's just up looking at the stars and above, trying to reach it to his best of his ability, and yet he doesn't realize the rising water and the dangers.
literally,
Keeping your head way too high.
literally.
Oh my god, write it down,
Write that down. Write that down.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like, yeah, so like he was dealing with his feelings of insecurity, and so that's why the Sekai was flooded, and like. They had Rui in the nice role of like actually noticing and helping Tsukasa out. Not that he'd do that in canon, but
Hold on a second, because this is reminding me. I was listening to this thing, Akio song or something, because the lyrics felt way too T to him.
Was it cinema?
Oh my god, I cannot remember the name, but I know the melody.
I don't listen to a lot of Vivid Bad Squad songs.
Moonlight.
Oh, okay.
The lyrics of it, I mean, this was some artists I already listened to, so I was like, you know, why is there MV? Oh, commission song, let's go! So I was like, why? Why is it their song? Because this song is talking about, in the original MV at least, it was talking about two artists. One was a collage artist, and the other one was just a pencil paper artist. And I thought it was interesting because the pencil and paper artist felt like a fraud because she was like a kind of like life sketching art, like drawing from life and everything. But she felt like a fraud because she couldn't come up with any original because she was directly copying from life. But of course, you know, collages, you cut out pieces of various materials and then piece them together in a new way entirely, which is a form of art that's not original. But the artist felt like because she was using materials already existing and she was deriving them into a new piece, it didn't feel entirely genuine and didn't feel like something because she didn't create it from her own hands. She did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they both felt this like weird sense of fraudulence. And they were like also inspired by each other and envious of each other's ability. One to be able to create something completely by themselves with to a pencil and lines and everything, and the other for the originality of piecing together pieces that you never thought would work together. And in the end, I don't know what the hell happened in the end, but they seem to come to some kind of acceptance where it's like, even if we trace over it, ultimately it's still our own ideas. And I don't know. I guess art just takes form in many ways. I think I didn't even go through Vivid Basketball Story that much. Because I could go through that kind of like, I don't know, he feels like a fraud because he's following and, what's on stats name? Ken?
Yeah, I mean,
Does he go through that?
I think An's going through sort of an imposter arc right now, but I think Akito in some sense has always sort of also felt like an imposter, like, or just like at least felt like he didn't belong.
Oh, because like everyone seems so talented. Kabane, Toya, otherwise.
Yeah.
I see. Hold on, why does I mention this? So the lyrics felt really, really bitter and angry towards me. They remind me of what did I bring up this again?
Oh, because we were talking about that fic.
Yeah, that song. If you get the chance to read the lyrics, it's pretty interesting. Fraud, though. It's an interesting feeling to think, like imposter syndrome. It doesn't matter where you are. Once you like obtain a high enough skill level, there's always this, what's it called, the curve, not the Dunning-Kruger. That doesn't sound right. But you know the curve I'm talking about, where it's like, once you're new to a subject, you learn a little bit, and you think you know it all. And at some point, you reach a point where it's like you learn just enough to know that there's like a much more vast world out there, and you're not even there, not even a fraction of the way there. And there's such a long, steep point before you're even at the point where it's like, I'm at the point where I know I only know this much, and I also can achieve this much. But it's also like a curve that also goes on and on and on depending on the field. It's a funny thing, imposter syndrome. It comes and goes and ebbs once you learn more, and then once you stop learning for a while, and then you still catch yourself, and then that distance grows again. This is something you always have to handle. It's not a one and done feeling. Tsukasa Oh. Oh, but that's something, yeah, that's not something you probably... Oh, not a team. Just a wish away for him. And completely comfort him and ensure that, no, you will never feel inadequate. It's only something you can kind of...
Well, they wouldn't even do that to him.
Exactly, that's just like...
They wouldn't even realize he's feeling that way, probably. Or, like, if they did, they still wouldn't do anything.
Oh, I wonder if that's why genius type characters always kind of tick me off a little bit. Like Rui. Because I appreciate genius type characters where it's like, they already have a sort of specialized skill or a highly developed skill in a very concentrated field. I don't like genius.
Well,
all-encompassing genius.
Rui's like good at everything though.
I hate that about him. My guy knows so much about theater and about robotics and about... He seems to be good at everything.
Theater, robotics, school.
Exactly. I'm just like, one thing. You choose one thing, and that's it.
Right, and like, I don't think his physical ability is as great as Tsukasa or Emu's, but like...
Dumbing down even more!
Right.
I want him to be... If you're gonna give him that, like, above his, like, intelligence, like, bring his ability down to absolute zero. He's worse than it.
Yeah, exactly, I was gonna say.
Run 3 feet without... I want him to be moderately strong or freaking tall. Like, why does he have that height?
Exactly.
Why my man doesn't even eat vegetables?
Exactly. Give it to Tsukasa.
Exactly. Tsukasa. No, Tsukasa. Their height reverse is the only A you approve of.
Right.
It's just height swap. Everything's the same.
Literally everything's the same.
Rui's the same height as Tsukasa, and Tsukasa's as Rui's height. Oh, how the turntable is weird. Oh.
And so, like, now every time Rui tries to, like, say something, Tsukasa just, like, smirks down at him. Doesn't even say anything.
No, but that one fix in his character would also improve so much.
Literally.
If he just... Damn. If he just took away some of Rui's power.
Literally.
If he just took away some of his, like... It just tips the scale. He just has too much on one plate, and it tips the scale just ever so slightly in my dislike of him. If you just took away one thing.
If you made their dynamic a little more equal.
Yes, that's it. It's like plus the height, plus the weird detachment, plus the weird emotional distance and everything. And then for some reason he's just all across intelligence, seems to be moderately athletic. I'm just like, there's too much here.
Right.
There's too much here. And then you give him a good voice actor while the design's kind of an ass. But
like, I mean, people are still into it, so like...
Yeah, as long as like it's taken. And all across the board, I'm just like, there's not enough to balance his character out. There's not enough to balance it around the power he has around the people around him. Or the seeming. I don't even. It's not even power, but it's like,
I mean, it always feels like he like has a plan or has it figured out. Like, I never see him flounder at all.
Yeah.
Or like I rarely see him flounder.
If they want to tell you that he has like moments of self-doubt, it's just not enough to make me. Is it not extreme enough? Because I mean, no, it's only like you said, distant glances.
Right.
And they're like, oh no, my friend. My show friends, my bad. My show Nakama are just walking further away. Or it's like, oh, I get offered. Oh my god, something else. Yeah, just I'll give it an uppercut.
Literally. That's what he needs. And then they robo.
Oh, good god. Yeah. Dang. Every single time. You know, at the end of this, I think at some point, if someone actually tells... I'm gonna have to hold myself back if we go to the con again. If I see someone mention it like I have to hold myself back. Or just, I'm not one for violence, of course. I will stop myself from launching an entire rant. I will stop myself from playing this hour-long
Yes!
in front of them. Oh my goodness, I signed up for the Lewis fan club. Please.
You cosplay as Lewis.
Oh my god, beard and everything. I was just like, but yeah. It's like no one, maybe not one, like very select few Rory fans seem to think critically about why the hell do we like this character. Like it's that shallow that you hear like a skilled voice actor, and then you see typical weird Bishonen.
I'm gonna be honest, I rarely see people critical of Wonderlands Showtime, like that dynamic. and their characters.
I really think there's a certain type of people that get attracted to this.
What, stagnated people? People who don't like change?
Rurikins.
Rurikins?
Oh my god, there's just like people who like Mogai.
What is Mogai?
I don't know what Mogai is. It's I thought it was reasonable, and then I'm just like scrolling even more. I'm like, ah. It's like, oh, I don't get it. It's like.
It's these type of people.
Yeah. Why is it? They all feel like they're living their own little bubble or something. They just. I mean, to be fair, I do this with a lot of character, but it's always like background characters I like design though. They have absolutely no bearings on stories.
Mm-hmm.
Or I just inject my own stories. At some point, I just adopt them as OCs, but. Gosh. They're so.
Yeah, and then like the minute you try and bring up like what I feel like are valid criticisms, you just get thrown with the but like you're invalidating my trauma. I'm like, I didn't bring your trauma into this.
There's so many spam calls. Get out here. Damn it, they heard us.
They heard us. No.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was crazy to me because like, yeah, you know. I have to mention Twitter once again, like, sometimes with these defense threads, like, the first thing I'll see people start off with is, like, as someone who deeply relates to this character, I'm offended. I'm like, that has nothing to do with anything.
No, you don't understand. It gives them this, like, defense. If you ever make a fair point, then they can point, are you trying to discredit my identity? This is a real person you're talking to.
Oh my gosh.
You're validating my rights.
Right. It just like goes back to the thing, like, no one ever brought this up in this discussion.
Yeah, and also it's literally the definition of Nena's tactic, like, as soon as
literally!
the boy, she cries and runs away.
Literally!
Then what argument do you leave me with? You don't leave me with anything, but I look like I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
Does that make you cry?
No, I look like the bad guy. Like, I mean, I guess there's also something that could be said, like, in today's society, like, when a small girl cries, like...
I don't care if you're a small girl, small boy, small grandma, small grandpa. I'm sorry, I will talk back to a grandma. I don't understand. In Asian culture, there's this heavy emphasis on respect based on seniority. I'm sorry, you don't earn my damn respect.
Right.
Even if you're, like, older than me. I'm not gonna...
Right.
Why would I give you my respect if you already disrespect me in the first place? Maybe in some places where it's like you consent to giving up some of your authority, like in the classroom setting or something, because there's something of value to be given there. The instructor wants your respect so they can teach you the subject, and therefore you should respect them with, at least address them with this sort of like, professional. This is why I feel weird about calling professors by their first names.
Right.
They seem to be completely unaware of that weird boundary, so it's like, okay, well, whatever, I guess.
Right.
Working in their working purposes, but yeah, whatever. But it's like, usually there's always that consent to either giving the respect because of a certain benefit received for both parties, or it's like you don't get it. Unless you prove to yourself you are a respectable person, I have a reason to respect you.
Exactly.
If you're like morally good in standing, you've done something that's like morally good in my eyes.
Exactly.
You've helped me out.
No, I will forever be of the opinion that you don't need to prove yourself to people who are supposed to be your equals, your friends, even your coworkers. Like, you don't need to prove yourself to them. Once you guys are equals, that means you're automatically friends. No, it's not the other way around where it's like you're friends, now you must prove they're by equal. No, it's like we've proven that we are, like, we both have mutual respect, we're on an equal standing, therefore let's be friends. Right. I really thought that's how it works. It's not just like, I'll consider you as a friend candidate. Now, prove yourself to me. Yeah. Are you worthy of being my friend? No, I'm like, F off. Like, what's crazy about Nene is that I'm supposed to buy that her insults mean that she's close to you, but she started insulting from day one. There's no way she was that comfortable with Tsukasa and Emu. I mean, she got nervous around Emu, but then with Tsukasa, she was like snarky to heck and back. Like, it's like, I don't buy that it's a sign of being comfortable. I just think it's a sign of rudeness. Yeah. And like lack of respect. She doesn't do it with anyone else. Right. Not Ichika. She doesn't do it with Ichika. They're supposed to be friends. Yeah, I'm not trying to think of any examples where she just shoots this amount of like snark against anyone else.
It's just Tsukasa bearing most of the brunt of it.
Yeah, she doesn't even do it that much to Rui. Like, she can still be. I think she can still be rude to Rui, but like.
Not nearly as like a waste of space.
Right.
Not like that.
Oh, you useless idiot or something.
Exactly.
Noisy. You noisy idiot.
What my guy do? He was just trying to be himself and be the freaking the life in this group because there's no life here. I'm sorry if it's just him to be clapping. I'm like, yeah! Again, he's providing some reasonable energy here. Otherwise, you guys just be awkwardly huddling around while Emma just does her thing.
Right.
Then you guys just, I don't know, do your thing in the corner. Probably won't.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't do anything.
No.
Emma would have saved the stage. She'd be like, okay, now what? and then like, Rui and Emu come up with like the most boring script known to man, like the most boring cliche script known to man.
Ugh.
Then Emu adds in like random stuff that doesn't make sense.
Right.
And then Rui's just like, Rui's fine with it because it just means he gets to show off, so.
Yeah, gosh. The thing is, even if it came to that, like the script was kind of funky. Or, like Emma gives it, let's name this power this laser beam we shoot over here, Sonic Boom Boom. Let's go Sonic Boom Boom at this enemy. The dragon's gonna fall and go whoop-de-doo. It's not.
Right.
It's like, when it wasn't fire, I was like, that's so lame. I'm like, okay.
Or like she kind of be like, oh, like, Emu.
Emma, sweat drops.
Right, or sweat drops, right?
That, I don't think it's... she'll be hesitating with, like, freaking dot.
Yeah!
She's not gonna just burn the shit out. That's so freaking lame.
Like she would with Tsukasa. Like, she'd have, like, the stutter, the ellipses.
So why does my guy get all the flack?
Right.
Is it because he's easy? Because that says something more about you than it does him.
Literally.
He's just so friendly that you just find it so easy to attack him. I think that's just a you problem then.
Right.
Dang.
Don't bring Tsukasa into it.
No, he's just trying to live his best Tsukasa life.
Right.
And he's just trying to trample down his little brain. What the heck? Dang.
And it's just like, I guess it's just the thing of like, how come Rui and Emu get to live out their lives as weirdos, but then Tsukasa's like berated for it?
Yeah.
Was it because Emu's cute? I don't know what Rui's got going for him either. That would justify it, but like, not even like being cute justifies it.
Oh. I mean, all their peers is just like, I don't know. I can't tell the standard for what's exactly cute or not. They all look like anime people to me.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
I mean, then again, Emma's also been shown to have people like talk about her behind her back, so like.
Oh, what the?
Or like sort of like see her as a weirdo.
Why? But like everyone just says it.
Right.
What? Is it just because he just has a smile on his face all the time? People feel no threat when no threat of him. I don't know, crying or like
he just barely seems daunted by anything.
Or you think he can take it?
Yeah, is that it?
In this case of like, oh no, he can't handle it.
Right. Well, does he have to like have a mental breakdown for you people to notice him?
Why does it have to get to that point, Brad? I don't want him to have a freaking mental breakdown.
Why don't you try respecting him first?
Exactly. I like my cousins, but not that way. I want it to be angst and then catharsis, not like that, because like, that's a meltdown.
Right.
Gosh.
Exactly. Yeah, I will forever be of the like. I've given my slack to Nene, but rewatching the main story, I will forever be of the opinion that Tsukasa was right. He should say it.
Mm-hmm.
He was spitting facts.
Gosh. No, it's weird. I wonder if it's a case of just like, you know, that kind of people, the very sensitive, I don't like to say sensitive, but honestly, yeah, the sensitive types, the very withdrawn, not quite social in real life types.
Well, I mean, like, what gets to me is like, as someone who like heavily relates to Nene and like wishes I didn't, like, I was that sensitive, but like.
No, it's not sensitive, but blames it on everyone else type that I'm talking about.
Yeah, but like my thing was like I was that sensitive, but like it was my fault. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was like yeah.
This is okay. What is
like I wanted to blame everyone else, but like ultimately the blame was on me.
I wonder if this case of they're still in that kind of stage. Cause like for me, I went through that stage of that. basically like stage of grief, basically, but like in anxiety form.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what stage I'm in right now, but it's like, it's just people who are stuck in the denial stage.
Maybe.
That keep getting attracted to this because it fulfills their fantasy and this like wish fulfillment of like staying in this world without ever having to change it because their anxiety seems to be absent and they just want to stay here because it's comfortable.
Right. I mean, the thing is, like, even after the fight, like, Nene acknowledges that he was right. That he was right.
Right. And then she's moved on and grown from there, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, like, Nene's cool. Like, their relationship is cool after that. It's Rui is the only one who has the problem.
He's like the type who takes tone more into account than the actual the content.
Yeah, it's so weird.
That's why I mentioned the type who are always quick to just blame others, because they always judge mostly by the tone of the voice, but never by exactly what the person's saying, and that's like the key thing they focus on. That determines like the validity of your argument. You don't say it to them nicely and softly. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong.
Yeah, but like,
no point saying this to them.
It's so weird because then if you said it in like the nicest, most polite way, like, oh, you're so right, you're so valid, then you should say it.
And that's such a wonky yardstick to judge by, and I hate that I've had to do this before. My God.
And like we were saying too, it's not even that he's looking for perfection.
He just wants it to be successful.
He wants it to be successful. If something breaks, fine, you improvise. Whatever.
I mean, he was trying to improve. He was trying to do something. Yeah. He pushed himself a little too hard. But again, the reason why he was even stopped, and Rui had to stop, was because of robot collapse. And like you mentioned before, I think you could have just went up there to help.
Yeah.
You're like, children, let's cheer for everyone. Heave ho! Oh, or like, and it's down. Heave ho!
Right. Or like you even have the dragon help out. And you like make up a reason.
Right.
You have the mascot help out too. You make up a reason. Like you can do it. How did you get the thing off of him eventually then?
Right. I don't see why. This is a case of this like weird. No, this is Rui's like care for his cattle. His castmate's kicking in and he doesn't want Tsukasa to overexert himself and hurt.
Is it? Because I've got no indication of that so far.
Which is why I'm saying that can't possibly be if you're making an argument. It just doesn't add up. Why now that you're caring about him overexerting himself when it's the success of the show hinging on him getting through this part? They may be overexerting himself a little bit, but like pulling through and making this a
right. I mean, it's not like I believe that you guys actually care about his well-being. Like, so like why can't you guys also just push through then?
Hey.
Like, if he's like so reliable, right? Like, I don't know.
God. Ugh, so many freaking things.
Yeah, like, it's like the main story is so weird. I don't like it. I don't like rewatching it because I just like I can't help but see all of these things. And like the fact that this is supposed to be the foundation for their dynamic and their whole interaction, it doesn't sit well with me.
And there's too many pieces in the beginning that already set off too many red flags and just keeps them going.
It just snowballs and they just never acknowledge it. They're like, oh yeah, it's fine. Actually, Tsukasa's the one in the wrong. I'm like, what? What? How could you look at all of this and come to that conclusion?
Exactly. That's so weird. I felt such like almost visceral rage, or just like visual frustration at the most. In such a story. Usually rewatch it, I'm like, oh, I remember how good it was.
Right.
This story just wow. I didn't see how bad this got.
Right? And it's so weird because like so many of all of the conflicts in the other main stories are treated as like two-sided, nuanced issues. Even the case where like Akito like I mean he didn't sabotage, like there's a nuance, like Akito didn't directly sabotage the Vivid's performance. Some guy overheard him like trash talking, like used that as encouragement to sabotage it. Akito went nuts on him, was like, what are you doing, you freaking idiot, I want it to be on an even playing field. And then Akito took the blame for it because he feels like regardless, it was my fault. I may as well have pulled that cord.
Alright. Also, if you want to compare the similarities to two main events with basketball, Akito like punched away or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that feels like it's going off and then on a whole, like just. Well, but that's also because they like have that closeness.
They have that closeness.
And there's a reason to fight there, because all of a sudden, just like your eyeball of two years. I don't know how long they've been together, like doing music together, but it's like all of a sudden she says he's gonna
And like starts bad mouthing what they were doing this whole time.
Yeah, and it feels like all the trust you built up. I thought you want my eyeball, but you just weren't.
Right.
I thought you were eyeball. But you were just you to me were just a showman nakama. Not a nakama. It was like, oh, you were acquaintance or something, or you just didn't.
You were on the level of Tsukasa Senpai's friends the whole time.
Right. It's just that kind of like discovery that I understand, with combined with his character and tendencies, like would build up to that rage.
Right. But like they didn't, and the story didn't spend time like blaming Akito.
No.
Like both sides were spent like understanding their side of the story and understanding that they just needed to reconcile, talk it out.
Yeah.
And like neither side was blamed too heavily. Like even for like all the awful things Toya said, like it was understood that he was under heavy pressure, and like he didn't feel like he was as dedicated as Akito was, because he didn't get into music out of pure passion. He got into it as a form of escapism. So once again, that imposter syndrome thing. So yeah, like they both feel it to some degree.
No, it's just a sense of like they're both taking responsibility for that.
Yes.
Actually talking it out and discussing, not just searching. Forgive me. Or it's like, oh, I did wrong. It was completely my fault. Oh God, was that it? Because like, when I think back to it, they never seem to. Yeah, they never did give a reason. I was like, Danny, why didn't you charge it and everything?
No, I mean instead it's like, oh, but like Nene was working so hard and practicing, that's why she ran out of charge. And like the thing is, when Rui says this, like Tsukasa actually considers this for a minute, but then he's just like, no, like that was still a stupid reason, like. But like still, like he was listening, like.
Hey. In the end, it was also had to like get on the team and just like, no, guys, it's just entirely my fault.
He had to put in all the grunt work, and like to be fair, like Nene said, like no, I mean, well, I don't even know if this counts because she was also crying. We're like, no, it was all my fault.
Oh my God. But it's not, like never any like maybe not logical, but like explicitly stating reasons and also going into depth. I just want to stop discussion. Like, what was it? I mean, Akito straight just punched Toya in the face. That's kind of like Scott is just like punching her in the face with his word or something.
Right.
And yeah, both of them got blamed, but like also Toya got some of the like flack like content because dude was sprouting some like pretty hurtful stuff. I mean, to a person you thought you trusted and wanted to do music with for a long time. And then I mean, shoot, I'm sorry, you ruined a pretty big component. You were like in what is a pretty pivotal moment. I mean, it's when Dragon's wake up. It's like the climax of the show. You
pure carelessness.
Right, and the climax of the show. Once again, I blame Rui. It's like, why the hell did you put a battery indicator?
Right, but like, once again, like, how are you supposed to know that Nene Robo needs charge if you don't have some sort of indication?
Oh my God, really? It's just he knows exactly when it's gonna run power, which is 3 days.
Because he's that smart, right? He like keeps track of it too. Such a genius.
Oh my God.
Like as you said, that would be an interesting flaw to explore. Like the fact that it's part of like user interface, and of course he wouldn't have that because it's not like people are actually using his stuff besides him.
Good gosh.
So like that would be interesting to explore.
Never explore that and apologize. Like, no, they throw on another show. Rui, will you come back to the truth?
The fact that they have to beg Rui to come back is also just like a slap in the face, like salt in the wound on top of everything.
Like, he's such a great asset to the team.
Is he?
They really treat him as such an integral, like, valuable pillar of the team. Like, all of them are the 4 supporting pillars to Wonderlands Showtime, but I'm just like, I'm sorry, you guys are sitting in a beach chair, sipping your little drinks, and Scott's over here like,
look at he's doing everything.
He's like, what's that doing? The freaking Atlas?
Right?
He's holding up the entire world.
He's All Might. And then My Hero Academia is supposed to be the critique of why one person can't be the symbol of peace.
Oh my God, that's crazy how so many other media ties in this.
Right.
And somehow simultaneously prove that, dang, you guys really just messed up somewhere hard.
Right. Clearly you guys, either you guys didn't watch enough anime or you weren't watching it properly.
No, they went for all the
superficial tropes.
Yes, my goodness.
Yeah, the superficial isekai one-note tropes and just never looked past that.
And, oh my goodness, it hurts me so because why must they stick so closely to the anime? Everything will work out because friendship is magic. when you're bringing in realistic issues,
Yeah.
at some point you could just kept it a dumb Hatsune Miku rhythm game with cute characters and conflicts get resolved easily in this little contained microcosm of a world we know as Project Sekai because everything works out.
Right.
That could just be an escapist game for some people.
No, it's
what? Yeah.
No, it's the fact that you're introducing all of these realistic issues and you're teasing like realistic solutions. You're having like somewhat realistic reactions or like traits from these characters and the way that they react organically to these situations. It's the fact that you tease all this stuff, but then ultimately you don't carry it out.
Oh my god. No, again, yeah. Just wave in front of you and never follow through on it.
Yeah, it's that potential.
God. I hate how then the whole... Basically the core reason why I don't like the concept of Wonderlands Showtime, like the troop itself, maybe not the characters, but the troop, the formation of the troop itself is built on that kind of concept, is exactly kind of what Project Sekai is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like the worst parts of their whole concept shown in this for some reason.
Wonderland Showtime literally just represents the worst of Project Sekai. It like embodies all of the flaws.
Man, I really stand the wrong team.
Right?
I mean, I stand the right character because they're great, but like, well, the right character, he's great. But like, the rest of y'all, I'm gonna pull the weight.
Right.
Pull some of the weight.
You don't do anything.
The guy is sweating. His balls on here.
Yeah, but they just like watch. It feels like they just watch him drown.
Oh.
Like, no, he's fine because he's Tsukasa.
He can swim. That's cute. No, Tsukasa, you almost got the start. It's not like 3,000 miles up in the sky or something. You got it. You got it. He's just like. You got it. Hair's dry here. Yeah. He's still like. Once again, we see Akito cameo.
Akito
He was there, he probably swim out into this and be like, "Step on, you idiot!"
You're right. No, but like Akito would like dive in there and help him.
That's what I'm saying.
Immediately too. He wouldn't even think about it.
That's what I'm saying. Rui, you see Rui,
Rui would be like devising this like strategy that ultimately goes nowhere.
He's building a freaking robot.
He's building a robot like right then and there. It'll be ready in a week. And then Nene's like wringing her hands like it's okay, it's Kasa's got
like, I gotta blow up this like giant balloon and then make a freaking
right
out of it. Wait, it's Kasa good.
She like inflates it, like she doesn't have one of those automatic pumpers. She just like blows the huge humongous thing with her mouth. But like in between breaths she goes,
It's got so just like drowning. I'm gonna shove it all the way. You dumbass.
Right? Akito like backhands, like get out of here with that nonsense. Akito and Toya would be like the MVPs, man. Like
exactly, because they have realistic solutions to things. It's not you see a person drowning. Choose from the below options. Do you build a bow, construct a bow from your metal scraps of your robots? Do you inflate a balloon in a hope that between the wonder hoist you somehow make it before the person drowns? Do you wring your hand nervously and look around for other people to help? Or do you just jump in and save the person?
right.
Or throw them a life, like a
lifesaver or whatever.
There we go, yeah. So, which one?
Right.
Which one would you choose? They come with the most delulu solutions to the most simple problems.
Literally, is that maybe that's my problem with Wonderland Showtime. Like, all the other cast members, like, they would have, like, one person would be, like, running off to call for help, one person would be on their phone, one person would jump in. Like, they'd have all these, like, concrete solutions, but, like, Wonderland Showtime feels like they would come with the most ridiculous solution, but it ended up being, like, ineffective anyway.
Oh my.
And then Tsukasa just ends up having to save himself.
My goodness gracious.
And then they all just, like, ignore him afterward.
Dang, he just looks like a wet fry out of the wood. He just glares at us like, you guys.
Right.
It's like, Tsukasa-kun, I'm so glad you're okay. Well, it's Tsukasa-kun. I didn't expect you to make it.
He's like, no thanks to you.
My goodness, good job there.
You useless people! Oh, Tsukasa-kun, don't you think you went too far?
Oh, goodness. You should have drowned in that shit. Man. That one just, oh my god, this is stupid quote. Then it would be totally the type to say this. Man, I wish I could go to your funeral and lift down your coffin into the ground so I can let you down one more time.
Right.
Oh, that feels like something.
She would say something that awful, and then like the minute Tsukasa retaliates or like I don't know, even like flips her off, like Rui jumps in like oh like Nene like cowers, and then Rui's like oh Tsukasa-kun, don't you think he went too far?
He died.
And then it's like, no, Tsukasa-kun, like, apologize to Nene-chan.
This is wonderful of you.
It's not very wonderful of you.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, Akito was watching this exchange, he backhand all of them. Like, your team, yeah, exactly. Your teammate almost died.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Even if they weren't teammates, I feel it's like Akito would do this even if it was just a random passerby. Like,
hell yeah.
He saw drowning.
Heck yeah.
Like, Rue would go over, like, all the scenarios, like, would it benefit me personally to save this drowning person?
God. No, he's the type, it's like, what, if a child, like, starts to fall into a well, he's like, But, was saving that child be a benefit? Would it come to my shows? I just realized I referred to the kid as an it. If I saved that thing, would it come to my shows?
No, but then I'm supposed to believe that there's a facet of Rui's character who genuinely cares for life. He's in the gardening committee. He cares for bugs. Really?
Cares for bugs?
Yeah, I mean, he knocked over Tsukasa that one time when...
Dang, did it just slip out my mind? He cares for bugs?
I think so.
What?
I think so. I could be remembering wrong, but...
No, that sounds like something to put, like...
As a redeeming factor for his character.
Oh my god, this is not... You can't just be like, oh no, kick the puppy the villain, and then like, I don't know, freaking save the kitten the good person.
Why would Rui have a green thumb?
No, he seems like the type, he just touches a flower and it just withers with his touch.
He dies. Like... I like, why? Why does he have a green... I can't see that. I can't see that, and Project Sekai's not done a good job of convincing me.
Is it because they want to like contrast against this like technology, which is stereotypically cold and inhumane?
Why?
Actually, no, this person actually does care a lot, because look, he tends to plants. Doesn't that mean they care a lot? No, that just means they know about gardening.
Right. It means he's smart in another sense now.
Oh my god, he knows about botanics too?
Of course he does. Why wouldn't he? And he's good at balloon art.
I don't know why, but that infinitely just shot up my hate for him so much. I've never been good at balloon art.
Oh no, he's great at it.
I didn't know I could hate this. Okay, well I'm not even, there's, you're done. No, this has like shot my hate for him up to like 1,000%. This has just hit a soft spot I didn't even know, not soft spot, this has hit a weak spot in me I didn't even know was saying. Bro, oh my god, I've had, I don't know if it was a little clown, like a mascot character or something. I distinctly remember this thing in my childhood. Oh, there was like a balloon art fair thing that came to my like town or something. Like every single time I tried to even inflate the balloon before it reached even the halfway point, and my hopes were dashed along with that balloon. All the other kids had freaking stupid dogs or like hats, and here I was still pumping the filled.
Bro, I can barely blow up a balloon.
I didn't even. It was a pump. It wasn't even like one of those like cheap dollar store pumps. It was like a proper pump. Did I get swindled in my life or something? Like, honestly, to this day, I still don't understand. I don't know why I'm remembering this now, but oh my god.
Rui's bringing up some traumatic memories.
This was a memory I did not need to remember. Rui!
No, Rui would tell you, see, now you can use this to better your acting. You see, you too are a failure, just like this character.
Oh, do you know what's really fueling my acting? My rage. I feel like I see your face. Oh, no. I'm gonna keep my eyes on you because that will really, really drive my acting. Oh,
right.
Knock out this dragon. I'll just pretend this dragon's your face.
Right.
Uh-huh. I was like, oh my god, no, I hate him. Yeah, I can't believe he's good at balloon art. I hate him.
Right.
Damn it.
No, but it's like the fact that they try and like add on that other thing to like make me truly believe that he has any respect for life. I'm like, no.
Also, it would but like if you just made him terrible, but still try, maybe that would fit his character more. He just tries to nurture Lake, but he just keeps failing. And honestly, that would have made me feel better.
I think it was interesting, like in like that fic I sent you. I think that they like noticed that incongruity, like with the way he like how respectfully he'll treat like robots and plants, but not Tsukasa. And so, like, literally, like, one of the lines in the fic was like, oh, so you'll treat a robot better than me, huh?
It's the case of, like, because robots and plants are nurtured directly under your supervision, you have total control.
Because Rui's, like, basically a god to them?
That's...
Kami? Oh, that's so creepy.
That creeps me out on so many levels. That's just basically the perfect relationship is just when you have like ultimate control.
When they'll just do whatever he says. Oh.
When they have to completely rely on him for their survival.
Ooh.
Get out of here, you creepy.
Right?
Ugh.
Weirdo Shiro.
Weirdo Shiro.
Get out of here.
Oh, I don't like that implication. Y'all, every single moment where you seem to show some amount of empathy, that's been like dashed and tainted by every aspect of your character. What the hell?
Like, and I don't think the writers meant to portray Rui in this way.
No, I'm sure they didn't think this far, but it's like, because the moments where he seems to show some vulnerability and tenderness, it's so vague that you have to like do so much guesswork by the previous things he's done. But when the previous things he's done all seem to imply that he's not doing this out of like pure goodwill or just being a good person, then you just have to think, wow, so these moments seem to be implied to be because of this motive? That's kind of gross.
Right.
Is it because you don't want Tsukasa to leave because you want him to stay so he can continue to be under this low, he'll be restrained to this level, and therefore he's willing to stay because he thinks there's something better?
Well, that fic I sent you was a pretty good critique of their relationship, because Tsukasa eventually grew to understand the fact that Rui only wanted him because he was an actor who would respond to his direction. Anyone could do that, really. I mean, it's even proven later on when Asahi gets thrown to mix. Asahi loves Rui's ideas. So it's not like Tsukasa's like a one in every, like, I don't know, 1,000 person here. Like, there are people who would accept them.
Right. Oh. No, it doesn't sit well with me. He's just looking for a type of person and not...
A yes man.
Right. It's not just because it bothers me about so many relationships. It seems like friendship are otherwise, of course, but it's like the relationships I find are the most endearing and the most genuine are not because of the person's specific abilities, what they offer to the table. It's ultimately, sure, these are like added bonuses of you guys being friends or in a relationship or something, but it's ultimately because it's this person's essence, them themselves, that make you happy. Not because of whatever they bring to the table, if they can like be of any use to you. Or like offer you and kind of prove on the way that like
And like that's also my problem with Wonderland Showtime's relationship, because I feel like if you just strip them of their like essential talents, like would they want each other in their troupe?
We're talking Haikyuu back again, that whole thing where they took everything from Hinata, my goodness. But still, my man still wanted to play with him because doesn't want to admit it. Does he even say they're friends at some point? I don't think they do.
Ooh.
They don't really communicate at any point, but it's like it's pretty clear. And there's that weird thing, they don't really look back at some of it.
I don't think you have to necessarily say you're friends for me to buy that they're friends, like...
No, it's a case of where the framing and the cinematography in the show itself conveys a much more... And that's in a way, in certain ways, if you can pick up that's a lot more meaningful than just saying, oh, you are my friend.
Yeah, which I guess they're forced to do because of, like, the visual novel style, but, like... I don't know. I mean... They do it for other groups. I can buy that the other groups are friends.
Even that, even with the limited animations. I
can buy Ichika and Nene's friendship more than I can by Nene's friendship with anyone except for Emu.
Right. Surely it's not just a case of because of the limitations of visual novel. I've read visual novel, I distinctly can't see.
Danganronpa? I mean, then again, you also have delusional fans on Danganronpa. Don't even get me started.
Oh boy. I'm like, no, visual novels are just, well, novels with visual stuff, but like, if I can feel innately, because like, I don't know, again, this is the thing where you just have to like innately feel this, because like, you know, from fanfics, sometimes they don't even have to state something, but from how, like, a really like, good author crafts the atmosphere of a certain scene, you can feel, you can almost like interpret and kind of extract like what exactly the characters are thinking and feeling. You can feel that intimacy, whether it's from the description of the objects, what the heck. Hey, also you have freaking monologues in the head.
Right.
Those are a little like contrived, but I'm just like, if you really have to use them, use them.
Right.
Anything to make me not dislike this guy to hell and back.
Project Sekai has no problem using internal monologues. They do all the time.
So, why are we here? Why do I still don't like this Rui Kamishiro, weirdo Shiro here? So, what happened there, guys?
How did we fumble the ball this badly?
Right. I was like, you guys haven't been fumbling, like, just popped it.
Right.
Now it's a sad splat on the ground. Good God. Ugh.
How did we fumble Wonder Show so badly?
What? Yo.
Cause like I don't like Rui, but like I feel like these discussions make me like the other two even less. Like not to the extent of Rui, but like honestly, I'm not too big a fan of their arcs either.
And that's so sad because I so desperately want to like them because they seem to have potential. Oh my God, back again with the potential. I'm just like, I really want to like you guys.
If you just gave them a little more autonomy in their own arcs.
Yes.
Instead of just blaming the other people. I think that's my problem. I think Project Set, for all of their arcs, they end up blaming everyone around them. Tsukasa is the only one who will take that self-responsibility.
You know, honestly, he blames himself too much sometimes. Even when it's not entirely... it was completely out of his control, but he'll still find a way to take the responsibility. Oh, this is when I really don't like the big brother of the world, because you have to shoulder all the burdens of all your little siblings, supposedly.
Right.
You don't deserve to be his little siblings. Get out of here,
exactly.
Step-siblings.
It's only reserved for Saki and Toya only.
Yes. My goodness. Oh, you guys, get out of this household.
Right.
Yeah.
They slap Wonderlands Showtime themselves.
Oh my goodness.
Get out of here. Leave our brother alone.
Oh, but no, the fans were riots. What? What do you mean they're not found family?
Oh my gosh. They're definitely not at this point.
I really came in.
I wish they were!
I'm so sad I came in here. Like, you got me into this, you dragged me in here, and I really was expecting some nice, wholesome moments, like weirdos in the family or something, some family dynamic, or like some bestie dynamic, where it's like, I can be comfortable around you guys. What'd I get? What did I get in exchange for all this?
Oh my gosh, and like,
I hate everyone.
Like I was telling you, like, when I was first getting into the fandom, the first fandom content I consumed was the fan fiction. And so I would see all this content of, like, them basically being found family and being there for each other. I'm like, yes! And then I saw this one fic where it was like, actually, I don't think they're as close as you guys think they are. I'm like, no, that's not true. That's not true. But then I'm finally at the point where, like, it's true. It's completely true.
Oh, and I hate this because I'm like, dang, how am I gonna continue with the stories if I hate like 75% of the cast?
Right, exactly.
Literally, I'm rooting for the one person in this entire, like, sincerely rooting for them. The other, Rui does not deserve attention at this point. I'm just like, bro, how you're gonna do it?
Just like, throw him in the garbage. You don't need him.
Seriously, I really, again, I don't know how you're gonna redeem him unless you make him a totally different character, which is where that time skip is there. Because then there's potential to completely overhaul a character and make them complete because time changes a lot of things.
Right, exactly.
But that's literally just, that means he's not Rui anymore. Or just all the core essence of why this version of Rui Kamishiro exists is because...
Or like, you just take that power away from him at least.
Right. Oh, goodness. But then that wouldn't make him the pompous Rui Kamishiro he is today.
He can't be a Showtime ruler if he's not the one with power.
He's supposed to be the Showtime ruler?
I mean, that was the name of his commission song.
That was just... Wait a second, this is Tsukasa Mr. Showtime?
Yeah.
Ah! I hate this! I hate it. Why is every mnemonic, I don't even know why is every name like pointing towards this like Rui holding the puppet strings? But Tsukasa's a Joker! He has a puppet string!
What's interesting about the cards, like some people were saying, is that it looked like Rui was the one on the ground with the puppets and like was the one like controlling their movements, but it's actually Tsukasa the one who's up in the rafters controlling the puppet strings.
But he doesn't show any semblance of that in the story!
Exactly!
That's what I want him to be!
Yes! I want Tsukasa to I would even say I want Tsukasa to be that subtle manipulator, or like even like that could even just show how he's like the mood maker. He's the real driving force in the troupe.
Exactly. I'm sorry, manipulative doesn't exactly, it's not the most pleasant word to most people, because I always carries this weird connotation of like, ooh, you manipulate the situation, and there's like this weird like, oh, is what I'm feeling not truly authentic or something. But I'm like, I'm sorry, to an extent everyone's manipulative. You gotta change the mood around and bend around to your benefit, to the other's benefit. And manipulation is literally just changing around things if you think about it, the purest technical terms. It's again, this is where whenever I make these arguments I sound like an absolute psycho.
No, like I get what you're saying.
I sound like a Rui, goddammit. But it's like, if it's not to the point, I guess all things in moderation, I guess. So,
but no, I'd be okay if Tsukasa entered as a Joker arc or something. Like,
no, I'd like to see a little darkness, because at this point, if that's all you're tossing at him, I wouldn't be surprised if he just one day was like, hey, so you guys.
Right? I mean, maybe this is just the desire in me to see him snap back a little, but like.
That too. Oh, good God. Damn, I don't know why for the longest time I thought he was Showtime ruler, like Tsukasa.
No. He can't ever be Showtime ruler. He's Mr. Showtime. The efforts of an ordinary man.
Mr.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get stuck with Mr. while the other guy has ruler in his name.
Tsukasa literally had a king outfit at one point.
And what was that? What was that whole, like, grand...
That was when Tsukasa was giving up his dream, remember? Or giving up his desire?
What?
To win that show contest?
Then he donned the king outfit?
Yeah.
No wonder we had that whole cape torn from us. It wasn't just a cape. It was literally the essence of a king, and the ruler ripped away. My God, it was a puppet king.
Literally.
There's some weird connotation here I'm not picking up.
I mean, Tsukasa did play the jester.
Well, that's some.
Huh.
There's some weird thing to think about there.
Right. That's interesting.
Because, like, again, this is, maybe not politics. We could just discuss it more. But like, in terms of monarch, it's almost like the monarch you're thinking from the past ages when they had like absolute power, when literal absolute power over the people meant something. When you reigned over the people, when they actually held power. And then nowadays you're thinking of like England, just can't say maybe you're thinking of like Queen, well, Queen Elizabeth is dead, but you know, the Queen and everything, but they're only a figurative symbol, a kind of artifact from the past, and not exactly holding any true power, maybe social power, but also that just depends on the person, and that's only the personality carrying all that, and truly it's still with I guess the respective government there, I think there's a that's interesting. Not to look up, there's still like a true reigning monarch somewhere in the world. I'm sure there are.
And it's interesting though, because in terms of Project Sekai, Tsukasa is the one who often gets swayed around by Wonderland's Showtime.
Yeah.
And is often subject to their whims.
Right.
And it's like, it's basically like if he doesn't go with their way, then he's the bad guy. So, like, I'm sure if Tsukasa raised the fuss about not doing the show contest, they would have been like, "Oh, Tsukasa, you jerk."
Oh gosh, yeah.
Poor Emu. Poor baby Emu.
Oh, poor baby Emu. Also, it feels like a ganging up. Every single time you do this, it feels like you're ganging up on him. There's only one Tsukasa. There's only like the arguments always seem to be split into Tsukasa versus the others.
Yeah, I'm seeing a common denominator here.
Why not let the king rule for once?
Why not let the king do his job?
Yeah. Why not? Maybe he isn't like maybe he only holds power as a symbolic king, But why not let the Tsukasa exercise his like social power over the group and show that he has something to offer?
Or yeah,
and
like I'm sure even if he eventually said like, all right, you know what, you don't want to do this, fine, then I'll leave the troop, I'll forge a path on my own. He would still be made out to be the bad guy. Oh, but Kasumi needs you to save the park. I'm like, oh, you need me, huh?
Oh, what? Oh my god. Dang. More and more. I just wanted to leave. No, I mentioned the word. More and more.
Literally every single time it just ends like I want him to leave.
Exactly. Also, the moment the words more and more like just jump out my mouth, like maybe you just join the idol group.
He just joins more and more jump like in that one fanfic.
Yeah. I was like, that was really nice.
It was.
That was surprisingly really, really nice, and the way he was so reluctant to go back, I'm like, that feels like it hits too close to home.
Oh, did you read it?
I did, but I'm like, this hits a little too close to home and almost too realistic. I wonder why I enjoyed this so much. Jeez, right? Did it just fill this void of dissatisfaction that I felt already?
Right.
It's present in the game, I just wasn't too aware of it.
It's like the fact that like everything is here, like.
Right, theoretically, if everything worked out right and Wonderlands Showtime was the whole like found family thing, reading stuff like this will make me sad. I'm like, he's not spending time with his like, real friends. I'm like, this feels off. If everything went according as planned, if they actually planned out everything right and they hit all the right points of it and actually constructed a bond that was true friendship and not built on this weird like take relationship.
Right.
I would have felt usually I would feel the sense of like weirdness and emptiness if they would start interacting with others and just kind of leave their group at the wayside.
Right.
I feel
like normally I am, and like I am the person who gets sad when the family has to like split apart. Like
yeah.
I am the person who's like, well, I don't want things to change.
Right. So why am I so adamant at pushing for change here? I'm like this. I'm not even like. Maybe this would be good for him, but I'm just like, oh, like maybe the group would be. No, I'm literally on the fence. I jumped off the fence multiple times. I'm just like, the grass is so much greener.
Literally, I'm like begging on my knees, like, please.
I'm sorry, Tsukasa. The grass is not only greener there. You are standing in like we're talking Dust Bowl era.
Right.
We're talking nothing in the soil. Everything is dusted. Nothing can be grown here.
Right.
And these guys, for some reason, are still sitting around playing with this fake sandcastle.
Like, literally, like, Wonderland Showtime literally has nothing left to offer Tsukasa, if they had anything to offer in the first place. Which I'd argue they really didn't, but...
It really feels like Wonderland Showtime in a shorter arc, like a stepping stone towards...
Or, like, they could have just used the main story to, like, find Tsukasa's feelings. They could save the stage, and then they could, like, disband or something.
Right. It feels like a one and done deal. It doesn't feel like a permanent thing. And I don't think it's ever given that vibe of, like, this should have been something that lasted a long time, but it just feels like a stepping period, like a transitional period. It's like where he didn't quite hit it off the first time with his group. It's just part of the trials and tribulations in the life of Tsukasa Tenma.
Right, and like now he uses this experience to like better the way he communicates with his team and like handle his emotions.
Right. It really feels like these designs should have been good. Well, they could also revamp the design, but it feels like these elaborate designs should have been handed off to a separate troupe he would have met later on. And the troupe and these personalities, like the whole Emunene and connections, they should have been given like default black hair, brown hair, all that kind of like basic NPC character vibes. That would have been interesting too, just starting off the main story with NPCs.
Right.
But it feels like that. And then
Wonderland Showtime has always felt temporary to me, which is why this new like disbandment arc doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, what sense?
No, it's just the fact that they're like dragging on this whole idea of Wonderland Showtime's gonna disband, wah wah wah.
Yeah.
Or like, and then Rui's supposedly cooking up something.
Oh, that I see.
Yeah, it's like whatever.
Yeah, no.
So it's like, yeah, good. You guys should disband. You guys should. In fact, this has been like so many stories overdue.
Right. Oh, it's so weird. I don't know exactly what we felt when we saw that first like messed up typography of their title. Mm-hmm. I was like, but what I thought wasn't. I felt was interesting.
Yeah, I was interested. I'm like, well, I mean, I was like, yeah, freaking out, like, oh my gosh, like, wow, but it was mostly stemmed from the fact I'm like, is something going to change?
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely thought that like Tsukasa and Nene were going to go on this like separate arc or something, and then like
I was really excited at the prospect of perhaps them splitting the subunits and parting ways.
mm-hmm.
And like you said, yeah, major a break in a sudden like shift in how their dynamics are, and just like, well, extreme step. I've never seen a game. Maybe are they actually gonna do this? Gonna split a pre-established team? I've never seen this.
Right.
These guys could be doing something monumental. Nope.
No, typo.
Nope, just a typo.
Typo. And then everyone's just back to Wonder High.
I'm just like, if they actually did that and they pulled it off, I'm sorry, that would be such a legendary moment.
That would have been so good, such a ballsy move, but I feel like it would have paid off.
Exactly. I feel like you guys might have, for certain fans who really wanted this group to stay there for some reason, yeah, you might have lost them, but I feel like you would gain some like new interest. I'm like, because personally, I've never seen any type of game do this if they have pre-established like teams and groups.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely do you see them ever break off from the main branch and start interacting with others, especially in this game. This game is so weirdly isolated.
Yeah.
Even though everyone knows each other to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the worlds are very just like off on their own. We do their own ventures in their own little world, but we're never gonna cross or never have any meaningful like crossovers. That's weird and fun because you guys have a cast of 20 interesting individuals.
Right?
With so many possible interactions and like overlapping personalities and dynamics, and yet you don't take advantage of that, and you just segregate yourselves into this weird tiny pods, and you somehow section the weirdest. You somehow took from this cast of 20 characters the worst possible combinations and put them in this.
Literally.
How did you? You somehow took the. My bias. You somehow took the best character and put them.
You put him here?
Here?
Tsukasa would be better off in literally any group.
Is it because they planned everything out? They would just live with these like 3 wayside people, and it was like, dang, we gotta find something good to balance this out. They just put Tsukasa in there.
Right? As like the mom.
At this point, it feels like that, but I don't like that. I don't like the mom. I'm sorry. Every time I've heard someone like mention, "Oh, I'm the mom of the group," that's always stuck. It's such a weird.
Never like that.
I've never understood it.
I literally knew someone who called like themselves the mom of the group. I'm like, you ain't the mom of anything.
No, first of all, I'm sorry. Some of the ages your guys' maturity levels.
Like, you ain't my mom.
No. Good gosh. It's like also it's that weird pressure of it. Also, it kind of like overlaps a lot with the therapist friend, which I've also never liked. It also ties into the whole like you're relying entirely emotionally on this one person. You're not even a licensed therapist.
Exactly.
And what are they gonna? As a therapist, because like if you're the therapy friend, I'm sorry, a therapist does not talk about her feelings. Her job, like their job is just supposed to completely take in the patient's whole woes and spit back to them in analysis, some form of like reformment, and not give any of their theoretically and ideally not give in their own personal biases and trauma to the patient themselves. It's like I totally relate or something.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, that's it. And if someone plays that role on a friend, oh shoot, I'm sorry, it's not even the friendship anymore. You should be paying the person then.
Tsukasa's not even a therapist friend. Like, he can't give therapy to anyone.
No, he's not emotionally ready for that.
Yeah. The most he can do is like push someone forward on a path that they want to walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's not really therapy, and like, you still have to put in the work yourself. Like, Tsukasa and Toya's relationship was essentially that, but then Toya did like the brunt of the work and wanted to grow and change and improve himself.
This just goes back to my guy really is just like a man pixie dream girl, where he brings the motivation to the decrepit, the downtrodden people who are looking for some this water oasis in the middle of the desert. They can't find any hope. Tsukasa has descended down upon them, and here is their shining star.
Pegasus from the sky.
Yes, Pegasus, and you guys called him lame.
And you guys rejected the name, but that's exactly what he is.
Exactly. My guy brings so much to the table, and yet you just dismiss it as lame, weird, loud. You guys are weird, lame, and loud.
Right?
Oh, God.
But it's like implied that Tsukasa's like actually like super talented, like.
Not implied, my guy has Showtime, how many he is.
Right, exactly. With like no training at all.
That's still crazy. I still haven't grasped the full extent of that. My guy really did everything.
It's implied that he's a really good dancer, just like naturally too.
Dang.
Like, you know, in his birthday show, he just picked up on the, like, that was one of his trials, just like learning a dance move in like 10 minutes, so he only had time to watch the dance 2 times through, and then was able to perform it perfectly. But like still looked like he was having fun, like.
Honestly, there's such a discrepancy between the way I feel about Rui's seemingly natural talent and Tsukasa's. But Tsukasa's, he seems to derive all of it. What he's good at is good at naturally, but it's only in a very like concentrated field. And there seems to be a set amount of skill in what he seems to be a naturally fast learner. And that's pretty flexible, so you can apply it to a lot of things. His main interest is performance, so of course all his talents are going to be concentrated in performance.
Right, but like if he, like he's the type of person, like if he put in the effort, he probably could be good at it.
And that's the thing I like about his like more broader talent, which is like I can realistically see him with addition of not only the fast learner but also hard work. I could see him extending far beyond this tiny concentration of just performance in theater, but also other things if you really try that he could.
I feel like he could be. Yeah, he could probably be at the top of his class.
Right, if you put enough effort.
I think the only reason he's not is because he's like so busy, or like he genuinely forgets to study.
Yeah.
But then he does that thing where like he like studies the night before and just like gets decent grades. But like if he put in that time and effort.
Hey, but really just. First of all, he doesn't put in effort.
He doesn't put in any effort.
God damn, everything just seems to fall naturally in place for him. I don't know. I'm sorry. It really pisses me off for some reason. Oh gosh. What is it? Is it just I value hard work?
Yeah, I've always just hated those genius type characters who don't have to work for anything.
Cause I'm just surely.
No, but then they're still dissatisfied with their lives somehow. Like, oh, something's still wrong. I'm like, what? You literally have everything.
Also, what you think is wrong, why aren't you working towards it?
Exactly, you're not even working to better yourself.
Gosh, that's why I don't like genius characters. If they already are born with an skilled talent in something, they work hard at it. But I'm just like, good, you're gonna go far, kid. But it was just like, you expect your natural talent and your natural born prowess as something to just carry you all the way through life. It just feels you don't deserve anything.
Exactly.
And that's what Rui's whole the broad like
that's why I feel like Rui's genius should be more concentrated, almost like Tsukasa's. Like, you could have him be super good at machinery, but maybe have him not be that great with the human part of it.
Right.
Or like actually managing human actors, which is it's hard if you're only used to managing robots who do everything you say.
Exactly.
Like, these people actually have autonomy and will of their own. They're actual people you need to take into account.
Right. It'll be interesting if he goes like, if like, we're talking code here, computers are dumb. You gotta tell them step by step. If you're trying to move a mouse to click on something, you're gonna be like, put your hand on the thing, align your finger with the button, move the cursor exactly 98 pixels or something like that. You just kind of go step by step by step. And I'm gonna assume that's probably the way he thinks with machinery, and that's how he gets it so precise and down to exactly how he wants to be functioning. Because that's a magic program, but also like, I'm sorry, you tell that to a human. For certain actors, they're going to be really frustrated with you telling them exactly how to do this, and you're not exactly going to execute it to the T. Well, no, that's not how it's supposed to work. Like, I wouldn't see you struggle with that aspect of it. That's
just like, give me something. Like,
so easy. I came up with it. I'm not a writer. I don't write stories. I don't write, period. Hire us!
Literally!
I don't speak Japanese, but I can use Google Translate and DeepL to tell you exactly how terrible I feel about characters.
Literally.
The person will create, oh god, someone out there can claim that Rui is their OC.
No!
Oh god. No. Why is that never occurred? That's so funny.
Who would want to have a Rui as their OC?
God.
I'd be embarrassed if I came up with it, because I'd be like, wow, I just basically came up with a Gary stew, huh? And I hate tossing that word around, but like, I basically just came up with this character with no flaws and who the story just bends over backwards to serve.
No, it's been so long since I've heard Mary Sue and Mary and Gary Stu, but like, honestly, the more I think about it, yeah. You really just feel like that, huh? Ah.
It just feels like the story just caters to him. And he has and he just has no flaws.
Oh, the drunk nuts. Oh my god. I thought I wouldn't mind at some point because like whatever, it's just kids and maybe I can blame whatever, it's their whole wish fulfillment thing, but I'm just like, you try to bring that out there to a market, to a lot of people, and attempt to get someone to be invested in your story when you have this little fellow mucking around.
You have all the Wonderland Showtime members except for Tsukasa, like everything just bends to their will.
Yeah.
Like even in Leonid, I remember this one event, No Seek, No Find. Like they do the same thing to some extent, but they're not as lenient. It's like, I think I was telling you about it, like Saki ends up writing like her own original song for this event, and they go to this venue, they perform it, but the people at the venue are used to like specific type of songs, so they're not as receptive. Yeah.
Another band wasn't there? Was there another band?
Yeah, and then like it was the thing where like they were like trying to comfort Saki, and so like they go to this other band member for like advice, and the other band member's like, no, I mean, it's not really what people are looking for, but like you can keep writing like this cute stuff, like you do you, and like they all treat it as like it was some major insult or whatever.
Oh my god, no, cute.
I'm like, nah, she was being pretty reasonable.
Right.
I mean, I don't know, it was more, she worded it more nicely than Tsukasa did. It is critique of Nene, so.
Oh my god.
I don't know, like it's not like he was this person was doing it better than Shosuke too. Like there was no yelling, there was no sneering, smirking. She was like, it seemed like she was like genuinely trying to be nice about it. Like, but they, for some reason it was treated as like this major insult. Like, oh, you went too far. I'm like, what do you mean? What? Is this what going too far means nowadays? Like, what's happening? Did I just grow up in a completely different era?
Surely not. I wouldn't take it as valid criticism. It wouldn't hurt because I'm like, I tried.
Right.
But I'm still like that. If I thought it over a bit, mulled it over, I ultimately would come to the conclusion, yeah.
Right.
I guess, they were really reasonable in that sense. But did they ever get over that like initial of like, what? Q, our song's Q, what we're going for? I'm assuming like meaningful.
Well, I mean, Saki does take that criticism, and she does learn from it.
That's good.
Which is my point. Like, she does learn from it.
Okay. That's good, but like only the Showtime for so justice. They seem like they just somehow the little decision somehow got them all the way.
Right. They just push them off to the side. They're like, okay, I guess you won. Yes. Or like I think what happens is they end up moving Riley, like the business owner, they end up moving him so much, like, I forget what happens, but like, either way, the park is saved. Yeah. And Emu literally gets everything she wants, somehow.
Sheer force of will, somehow.
The power of a dreamer, but I'm like, Emu literally did nothing. She literally didn't do anything.
Dreamer.
You need logistics.
You need a plan of action to carry out dreams. That's a dreamer is a dreamer. You're in love. That's dreams.
That's the basis of Tsukasa's character. It's been shown through his Sekai that he can dream as much as Emu can, but you don't see him prancing around like his head is in the clouds.
Because again, my man has that bridge to reality. The rest of them just don't have that. They demolished it in their childhood or something.
He's had to live with the reality that his with a sick sister in the hospital, like, that's some very real stuff right there that he's dealing with. So I feel like that's part of the reason why he's so grounded.
Again, that was like Grandpa not die hard enough.
Right, like
for her to like get this grounded sense of like, oh dang.
No, instead her lesson from her grandpa dying is that, oh, I will never cry again. And she takes that as meaning I can never ask for help. Okay. That is the only lesson she learns, and even then she ends up buckling down, crying, and asking for help.
I should have rolled my eyes so they were just there, but like... Oh, there's so much I could tell me.
Right.
Gosh.
It's like the fact they treat Emu as if she's like so much younger. Like, she is literally only a year younger.
No, God, did they do that? For all the people who are like a year younger, what was it? It's wasn't like all the rest of the guys in their second year of high school?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Tsukasa and Rui are in their second year.
Okay.
Toya and Akito are still in their first year. But somehow Akito and Toya are way more reasonable. They take way more responsibility for their actions.
It's so weird. Oh, that's so strange. The people with the more realistic proportions in the game just naturally have better heads on their heads.
Right?
What the heck? Uh-huh. I'm agreeing, like, I like blew my last few, but I don't know more. What even? Yeah, Rui sucks.
Rui sucks. That's it. End of discussion.